Hello, everyone. Welcome to an all-new episode of the Anination Podcast. Nate and Omid are here once again. Yeah.
What?
Go ahead.
What is up, Anination World? I hope y'all are doing fantastic. I know that at this time, some of y'all are going back to school, and even though school is starting, we still get your fun right here.
Have you had a couple of friends telling you that they're back to school or something?
No, but I've seen like some elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools are opening up of this week. So yeah.
Are you seeing like your traffic getting a little bit worse because people are going to school?
A little bit, yeah. I see myself driving to work, and sometimes, there are some times where traffic can be brutal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're traveling. You're kind of close by, though, right?
I kind of am. Like, as long as I drive through the bridge, I think I'm good. Like,
yeah.
I think that route.
I mean,
is much
like,
better.
yeah, you're only taking like a bridge to get to your work. It's not that bad. And like for me, I'm just taking a freeway all the way down, and then I'm pretty much on my new workplace to say. So
nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and get things started. So first off, how has your week been?
My week has been, it's been really fulfilling, especially in my new workplace. I'm not gonna lie, I feel really good working there. Like, I feel like I'm learning more and more, the more I, work there, and my coworkers have been very helpful as well. So yeah. And, it does help that, I'm learning to, many things, and, it's just, I really do like working there as a whole. But enough about me. How about you?
That's it? Nothing else for your weekend?
Okay, so, and then the weekend, I actually spent the day watching the original Freaky Friday movie before watching the Freakier Friday movie. And the Freaky Friday original still holds up very well. Freakier Friday, it's a bit of a flawed sequel. There's some heart to it, but there are things that
I have to
better.
watch it myself. Although, to be fair, this is kind of a film that I'm just waiting because I was actually supposed to watch it with Jess later on this week, but I said I'll postpone it to next week. She has a convention to go to next week, so I told her if you can get like an autograph of Velvet, I'll love it. But
Nice.
It's up to her. It's really, she's gonna be busy over there at that convention.
All right, nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm like, you're telling me Freakier Friday is not as great as the people are expecting.
Freakier Friday isn't as great as the first. I'll say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, the first is original. Like, it's so authentic, and people wanted a Freakier Friday, and then like, I don't know. I was really kind of like I was kind of weirded out with the whole concept of like them having kids now. I mean, like, yeah, Lindsay Lohan will have kids. She's married now and have kids, but then they're also part of the Freaky Friday, which I thought was interesting. So they switch bodies too.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm like, the concept of four, body switching is a bit, it's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit convoluted in my opinion. I think what could have happened was you could have had Anna Tess not switch bodies and then help guide, the younger girls,
Are you
through their experience.
telling me a spoiler? Please don't tell me that.
It's not a spoiler, but it's just what happens in the movie.
I mean, wait, what'd you say?
It's a basic synopsis. You've seen the trailer, then
yes. I actually don't really know what the whole thing was, if they were going to break a marriage up or something.
I mean, you have to see the movie to find out.
Yeah, but I'm like, what's up with the kids? And the kids are doing some other things. I don't know. Just interesting.
But anyway, I've also been keeping up on some anime as well, especially new Panty and Stocking I'm still hooked into.
Nice.
Gachi Akuta, and of course
Gachi
City
Akuta has
Animation.
just been so hype right now. I'm watching that a little bit more than Panty and Stocking. So and City, because like I love City as well, but like I've been behind on that show now. And then I'm also catching up my Horse Girl anime.
Oh, I know all about you and the horses.
Yeah, so I didn't realize this, but the Horse Girl anime, I mean, there's different stories in the Horse Girl anime because like they have 4 seasons right now, and apparently the 4th season is the best one right now because so far they're talking about one horse, and the whole animation is so different compared to the the other seasons that were on Uma Musume. So I'm getting more hooked onto the 4th season right now. I kind of want to watch it quickly because it's not going to relate to the story anyways, because you don't see the team of Spica anymore. You're only seeing Ogre Cap and how she became the best, to say. I'm like, and then everything got so epic. I'm like, what the hell? How did this became so epic compared to like, other Uma Musume animes where are all idols? No, this is not an idol anime anymore. This is literally a freaking beast anime that is gonna have a second season in the fall. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun.
It's still anime with cute girls though, so.
Yes, but I don't know. I need to know about this ogre recap girl, by the way. Like, I don't know. This is a spoiler, by the way, but like she eats a lot. Okay.
Ooh, big appetite.
Yeah, you can see it like in the anime. Even like in the first season anime, you'll see she has a big plate of food and then she just eats it like after like one scene. Oh my gosh. How does she end up getting to be the beast? I don't know.
Stomach of the beast.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, that's again, I'll just mention about the Uma Musume stuff. That's my little obsession right now. But you currently into animes right now, which is good.
Yeah, I am. It's a combination of animes and of course Dankan Bonanza I'm still watching. And of course I'm still watching this cartoon called Wild Pack, which I highly recommend.
Yes, Wild Pack. Really great show.
Yes.
Something that Nickelodeon can do, because, they're always on SpongeBob and Loud House. So they need to have some more originality like Wild Pack to, lighten
variety.
up Nickelodeon,
More variety.
Right, exactly.
And of course, if you're at all into Loud House, Wild Pack is the very first thing I recommend because there's still some of that Loud House wholesomeness. And
oh yeah, I think it's really just wholesome because like you're talking about the pack with the Wild family and they're awesome as it is. I know it's supposed to be like it's so different because like it's a adopted kid in a Korean family. So
it also helps that the co-creators were heavily involved in the Loud House, so you can see that bit of a Loud House.
Yeah, I need to catch up with that show too. I just keep on recording it on my YouTube TV, so I just have to binge watch it sometime.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was your weekend?
Weekend has been all right. So it was kind of an odd week for me last week because so this is new to me, but I never noticed how bad it can get when you get injured at work. So I was injured at work, actually not last week, but a couple weeks ago. I didn't report the injury until I talked to my agency, and they said, "Why didn't you?" So I talked to them and said, like, I got hurt, AKA this date, and they told me, "Why didn't you report it? Because we could have helped you out." I'm like, "Oh, you could have." And then I told them like I still feel the injury. My groin has not been feeling correct as it is, and they told me like we'll have all of your like appointments covered because it's workers' comp. And I'm like, oh, okay, that works. Thank you very much. So I went to the doctors. Apparently I got a groin strain, and my abdomen wall was also strained as well. So I mentioned the story over on Twitch. If you haven't, again, a little PSA here, but I do stream on Twitch sometimes. I did say the whole story on my Twitch channel. So go to twitch.com/NaceGameplay2. You'll listen to it. There's a video still right there. But TLDR, I don't know how to work a pallet jack, and they told me to drive the pallet jack, so I did that. And it's, again, I'm working with big servers, 2,000-pound servers, and I had to like pull this thing, push this thing, maneuver this thing. And then there was one moment where the coworkers of mine who were like pushing it didn't stop pushing, and I told them to stop, and in the end I end up getting crushed between a cart and the pallet jack. So it's like, this is me, and then the cart pallet jack. You can see a 2,000. Just witness it. It's a 2,000-pound like server going onto you, and it wasn't onto me, but it's more like I felt the effect with the pallet jack. Like I felt like this lower body was just all like hurt to say. I didn't feel it initially, but as the day continued, I did feel stomach aches. I did feel a little bit of pain. I still thrived to get through my 8 hours of work, but then it just continued to linger for on and on for those couple weeks. But yeah, I was just not, again, I just didn't feel right in the job that I had. So I ended up, I was saying I was going to leave this week or last week. I guess put it up this week, that kind of thing. But I left the job that I had previously last week, and it was so strange because I told them I can work on Saturday. Like Saturday would be my last day. I mentioned that to them. And I still went through workers' comp on Friday where they get me to an urgent care center. I had to wait like 3 hours, by the way, to get a doctor.
Oh my God.
Which sucks.
Seriously,
yeah, it sucks. Because people wanted to get urgent care doctors. So yeah, I waited 3 hours. I did my 3 hours. I literally just told them like, give me a good time to leave because I ain't staying in this waiting room. So they told me like, come back in 3 hours. And I said, okay, cool. Then I went to the mall, just chilled there for a bit, went back to The doctor center, and then they told me, oh, they did some tests on me. Said like, can you be able to move this? Can you be able to move that? Do you feel this? Do you feel that? And then they gave me the diagnosis. They gave me some medication, and then yeah, I was feeling better after that. But what happened at work though was interesting because I said I was gonna leave on Saturday, but they fired me already on Friday, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Then you don't need any help on Saturday, huh?
But then again, you were about to leave anyway, so
Yeah, and then it was kind of odd. I'm like, I don't get to see my coworkers anymore. It was such an odd thing because I even told them like, I'll meet you on Saturday. I'll say goodbye to you guys tomorrow on Friday or on Saturday. But that didn't happen. They just after that Thursday where I worked, I left, and I'm like, okay, sure. Like it's good for me, but at the same time, like I kind of feel like burdened just because like I would love to say goodbye to my coworkers. They were a really cool team. It's just that they cut me off so quickly. I'm like, okay, fine, be that way,
Yeah, but thankfully though, you're somewhere better though.
Yeah, I'm somewhere a whole lot better. I did start my new job this Monday. It's working with robotics, which is really cool. They got me doing just pre-built stuff, which is, at least I'm doing something on my hands than pulling my freaking weight in things, So, I was just like, nah, I'm not pulling this anymore. I'm doing this right now. Like, fiddling my hands with all the stuff that they're making me do. And I'm liking it so far. Like, it's good to be in that kind of job place. It's a startup too. So the benefits of the startup is that there won't be much like benefits to you, but you're working with a smaller team. You're not working with like a big corporation like Google or Apple. You're working with like a small team, but altogether they're like family to say, and they help you out here and there. So everybody's chill over there. So I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you definitely, after what you've been through, like you definitely deserve this kind of work environment. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up. We are planning. I did talk to you guys. I talked to you pre-show. We should do some more stuff besides our podcast episodes. We are currently working on possibly doing live streams out of the studio. But we'll be in discussions about that. We might start this next month, but be aware of what we're going to be doing next because we want to do something more than just talking about animation, okay?
Yeah, we have potential to expand upon doing other things as well. We're talking live streams, not just those, but possibly game streams as well.
Maybe because like I don't know how we can be able to connect with games and stuff. Oh, I also another good news. I actually bought my Switch 2, by the way.
Yes.
Well, it won't come out till October, but I pre-ordered a Switch 2.
But still, welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party.
I'm gonna get the Pokemon game. Whee!
Nice. Yeah. You said you were gonna get the Switch 2 eventually. I just didn't know when you were going to. But
well, I saw it on Best Buy, and I was like, wait, I can buy it now? And they told me like, yeah, you can pre-order it, and then once October comes in, then you can pick it up.
Nice. It's nice to know that you're still getting the Switch 2 within this calendar year.
Yeah, thank God. I'm like, I was gonna wait for it, but like now I have like good money now after this job, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do it.
Year one, baby, year one.
Yeah, I want to see how it is. I heard it's really hype and everything like that. I mean, the only downside is that I have to actually buy Mario Kart, but I have Pokemon already with me, so
yeah, think of it as like a more beefed up version of the Switch 1.
Yeah. But if anything, again, I'm really happy for it. I can't wait to play it once I get it in October.
I'm excited for you to get it, man.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait for it either. Best Buy, you're a clutch. You actually still do pre-orders.
Yeah.
So. All right. So are you ready to start this episode up?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So before we get into our main subject, which is all 90s cartoons, we want to go quickly to some quick news that have been popping up once that has been going around once we were away. Let's go ahead and actually talk about the trailers that have been coming up in our timeline. And the first trailer we want to bring up is this is not working either. Oh no, is the mouse dead? This is supposed to be the right. Oh my gosh.
Hang on.
Oh no, the laptop froze.
Oh, it's a laptop?
Yeah.
I mean, I could get my own laptop.
No. Actually, wait. I can. No, it's working now. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, again, something's wrong with this damn computer. My bad, everybody. All right.
Computer gave us a heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this movie, Goat.
So,
Goat. I know all of us were kind of thinking about like what Sony Pictures' next animated movie is going to be about, and apparently it's all about GOAT, Goat. It's all about a goat that is a really great basketball player. Synopsis pretty much says that it's a goat named Will Harris becoming a big athlete, so he joins an elite team in Roarball.
Yeah, it's pretty much what they describe as that universe's basketball. They call it Warball.
Which is highly intense sport where animals compete in hazardous courts. Okay, so it's trying to be like a very challenging basketball. Is that what we're saying here? He has to prove that he belongs in the Fierce League. What are your impressions upon the trailer right now?
First thing I'm going to say right now, of course, per usual from Sony Pictures Animation nowadays, the animation is superb. Like, it is stylized all the way through with the combination of 2D and 3D aesthetics. It's just so appealing to look at. And then, of course, you got the world of goats, especially the anthropomorphic animals, look so distinct and so well polished. And of course, the intensity, the spirit of basketball is there. It's present.
For the Will Harris guy, he definitely feels very Steph Curry like, because he's like, a small little goat facing against very big animals and stuff. Yeah. And then look at the animals that are also playing as well. You got rhinos, you got like elephants and tigers,
panthers,
and apparently peacocks or something like that, or no, ostriches, because like I remember like a girl like basketball player like putting her head down all the way to the ground.
Yeah, you got all kinds of big animals playing warball, and then of course you got this little goat trying to blend in. And I'm gonna say this right now: the story looks to be cliche because it's
it's very underdog story like, right?
It's underdog story, and it's a story we've seen done billions of times, and you know, from what I've seen in the trailer, it's just gonna go by the numbers. I'm hoping it does something different with its plot, but from what I've seen in the trailer, it's just by numbers.
I'm just assuming from right now that the GOAT is going to be signed up to a big team, and then he faces off with like so many big challenging players, and in the end, he wins the championship with the team. You know, that kind of thing.
It's it's been done to death before, like I said.
Yeah, and I see how you're kind of about it, like. The one thing I would say, though, is, like, yes, the animation style is definitely Spider-Verse. Absolutely Spider-Verse, considering, like, how the animation is just so great. So that's the only one thing that I could come up with it. But, like, I kind of do like the story a little bit. Like, a small underdog goat literally in the city. Like, he has these skills. He just never knows how to show it off. So he goes to the basketball court. Then everybody starts seeing him become such a great basketball player. That's why he gets signed into big leagues. Then he wins the whole basketball championship. Like, yes, I understand it's a very cliched thing, but like, I kind of want to see how this underdog story is. Maybe it's a little bit different compared to like the basic underdog stories that you see in animated movies now. But no, this looks to be quite interesting. I actually want to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm going to say the best way I could describe it is with 3 words: style over substance. Mm-hmm. And like the substance isn't all that great, but the style is amazing to look at.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that people will be there for the animation, if anything. But either way, like I do hope the story does make it a little bit decent, or maybe more decent than whatever people are saying. So again, I'm getting a little bit hopeful after watching that trailer. It's a teaser though, so we don't really see much when it comes to like the full story about it, but maybe when the official trailer comes out, we get to see like a real story about it.
Yeah, so, maybe the trailer will show us that the movie is more than what it seems.
Yeah. Now I just remember when I first saw the trailer on YouTube, the first person I saw was Steph Curry. I'm like, hey y'all, this is the trailer for my brand new movie.
It's a Steph Curry movie, Steph Curry produced movie.
So what are your feelings about Steph Curry making a movie like this?
You know what? As a huge Warriors fan and a huge Steph Curry fan, I have his jersey. I'm obligated to go see this movie. Like, no matter what, no matter how cliche or no matter how predictable the movie looks, I'm still going to see it day one, just as a Steph Curry fan.
Yeah. I don't know if this actually foretells the story of Steph Curry. Because, like, from the way the GOAT is right now, Will Harris, whoever this GOAT is, kind of feels very Steph Curry like, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to be loosely based on Steph Curry's life.
It's not because like he's a small he's a small little goat that can be able to do all kinds of tricks here and there. But come on, like he's a small guy versus big people. Like Steph Curry is small himself too, and the way he does it so well, the way he plays so well is because he shoots so well.
But I think Steph Curry's end goal for this movie is to help young kids inspire to achieve basketball.
It's supposed to be for kids anyway.
So I could see where Steph Curry is going with this, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also gives like people, hey, basketball dreams. If you like to be a basketball player, maybe get inspired by this GOAT that's going to be like, summoning the cliff to say.
Or maybe
would be one of the best like players out there in basketball.
or maybe not just, it doesn't apply to just basketball, but just like the message and the heart of the movie may entail that as long as you achieve your dreams, you can accomplish anything, whether it be basketball or football or baseball or soccer or any kind of sport or any kind of activity for that matter, like music or acting.
Yeah, again, underdog story to say. There's also the cast that also are in the movie. The most important one is Caleb McLaughlin, who was in Stranger Things. He is the main character, Will Harris, along with a bunch of other folks, Gabrielle Union, Nick Kroll. I'm not gonna go through every name, honestly, because we don't get introduced to everybody. Okay, so Gabrielle Union, Patton Oswalt, Steph Curry is also gonna be there as well. So how do you feel about the cast that is in this movie?
Like, first off, you had me at Steph Curry. Like, not only is he producing, but he's also part of the voice.
Well, he is the voice, but, like, I don't see him in the character yet. I don't see the character of him yet.
Yeah, but I don't think that whether or not, no matter how big a role he is, he's still part of the cast, so that's something.
He's a giraffe. Is he supposed to be, like, an inspirational, like, old giraffe telling the goat, hey, you gotta do, you gotta do you. That
probably. But I'm going to say this right now. I think what catches me is David Harbour is also in this movie, and he's part of Stranger Things too. He was Jim Hopper, so there's a bit of a Stranger Things reunion here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for anything, if anything, Caleb McLaughlin, like, I haven't seen him. I think the only thing that he's done was Stranger Things, and then I understand, like, after Stranger Things is done, they got to do other things. So, like, David Harbour is also in Avengers too. So
yeah, so it's nice to know that. Like these Stranger Things, well, not just the adults of Stranger Things, but also the kids from Stranger Things are getting more material to work with.
Yeah. And then, of course, like, some familiar faces. Patton Oswalt has been in, like, many animated shows. So, like, for him to be a part of the cast is not surprising.
Yeah, and not only that, he was also Remy for Ratatouille.
I'm saying, like, movies, he's just in many animated films. Like, there are folks that continue to just be voice actors in films. And I'm like, you know what? If he wants to be like that, then let him be like that.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt does have a good voice. Like,
yeah,
he actually does.
I mean, like, it's kind of like Awkwafina, where she's, like, voicing everything now, okay? So
she sounds all the same.
Okay. So this movie comes out February 13th, 2026. This will be coming out in theaters. Do you think this is a good idea to have this movie out in theaters?
I will say that there's a bit of an IP that's tied to this that makes me think, okay, there must be a reason that it is releasing in theaters. And that is because, well, it's a basketball movie. It's tied to the NBA. And also, it's during around the time that NBA All-Star game is going to be existing.
If that's the case, then that makes sense. Oh, yeah, after the All-Star basketball game, watch the... Oh, don't tell me this is just going to say, like, hey, forget the All-Star game because it always is low in numbers. So watch the GOAT movie instead.
What I'm hoping is that this doesn't end up being a NBA commercial. I really hope that they do focus on enhancing the story.
No, it's not going to be like Space Jam, okay? Where it's just going to be all Warner Brothers IP'd everything. No, I believe there's not going to be any basketball references. There might be some players that are probably going to be like voicing in the movie, but I don't think there's going to be like references to NBA anywhere in the movie.
I'm actually waiting for, Michael Jordan to have a surprise cameo voiceover.
Who's the greatest of all time? Get it?
And also, I would say, though, that during NBA All-Star is when, especially during the time of basketball fans, embrace basketball. Mm-hmm. So I could say that this movie could not have released at a better time than NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, I mean, some basketball fans are definitely going to watch the GOAT, but, like, I mean, I am, most likely, just because I want to see how this whole GOAT movie goes to be.
Yeah.
But something tells me, like, it definitely is for the NBA. I can't really much to say. I thought it was just a movie that'll just come out. My thing about it moving into theaters is I guess in the NBA is just pushing it that way, but remember that there's some Sony Pictures animations that's currently on Netflix too, and they're kind of succeeding. I mean, K-Pop Demon Hunters did a really good job getting #1 right now on Netflix for many weeks now.
Oh, it's been a phenomenon.
And the Fixed movie that just came out as we're recording too. So, I mean, it's weird how Sony Pictures Animation is kind of doing like what should be released in theaters, what should not be released in theaters, and just goes to streaming.
Yeah, and I will say that I like that Sony Pictures is being smart about their releases. They're thinking about, okay, what do they think is going to make a lot of money? Which ones do you think are not going to do so well financially?
I think they kind of fucked it up when it came to K-pop Demon Hunters. I would imagine they would probably get a lot of money in the box office. Well, to be fair, they did make the whole announcement that they're going to put K-pop Demon Hunters sing-along in theaters soon.
Yes, it has achieved that landmark. It has become that much of a phenomenon.
Well, you know why they did that, right?
Because it's K-pop Demon Hunters is widely popular because of the Billboard.
No. Oscars.
Because of the Oscars.
Oscars consideration.
Really?
Yes, you have to put it in theaters in order for it to be in the Oscars.
Okay, so that's the strategy they're going with.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, okay? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You have to put it in theaters. So that's why they did it. So.
All right, so yeah, I honestly didn't think that, there would be a time where an animated film...
Because some Netflix movies did go to theaters too. Like, some movies went immediately streaming on Netflix, and then like a couple weeks later they put it on theaters because they had to put it into Oscar consideration. Yeah, like Amor, for example, last year's Oscar winner.
Like, I've heard of movies being released on stream first before eventually getting released to theaters for other reasons. I didn't think it would be for consideration for the Oscars reasons.
Yes, I think that's the thing, because like that's the reason why, like, whenever you see like Oscar movies came from Netflix before, it's the reason why they just put it into movie theaters. Yeah, that's the rule, I think. Like, really? For Oscars to say if it's not in theaters, you can't put it in. So like if K-pop Demon Hunters made it to theaters, then it will not be considered for Oscars.
All right, so it is for that reason. I was thinking that it got so popular. It kind
of reminds me like Neza could also compete with K-pop Demon Hunters, just because Neza also did go to theaters. So
now I'm thinking that, well, we all know K-pop Demon Hunters is become such a worldwide phenomenon, up to a point where it's reached box office.
Here's the thing I'm kind of looking into right now, because like I'm talking about Neza 2, which also is going into theaters as well. So it's a competition between those two great movies, and the other animated movies, like Disney animated movies, are probably shafted.
So I think this is during a time where non-Disney animated movies are competing against each other big time.
Yeah.
Right. Non-Disney animated movies are, beating out Disney movies at this moment.
Yeah. I'm thinking right now, it's really definitely for, Neza, because Neza 2 is really good, and then K-pop Demon Hunters, I think those currently are the Oscars. Those are the front runners right now for the best animated feature Oscar right now.
Yeah, I would say that, because unfortunately, Elio doesn't have a chance.
Because it happened during the same weekend. We already mentioned this in an episode already. So yeah.
So yeah, it's K-pop Demon Hunter and Neza 2, because Neza 2 is currently the highest grossing animated movie of all time right now, beating Inside Out 2. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly enough. But
because, China apparently does really great with their animated movies.
Oh, it really does. As someone who's seen the first two Neza movies, I could definitely see why they're so successful.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I mean, we did get a little bit off subject here, but I must say, that's why they did it.
But yeah, going back to GOAT, I'm hoping for this to be successful. I'm going to support this with all my heart. Yeah. Because I'm a war fan.
I'm just going to watch it just because it's basketball. Yeah. But anyways, GOAT is coming out in February 13, 2026. The teaser trailer came out a couple weeks ago, but the official trailer will be coming out real soon. We'll just wait and see how this movie will all hold up. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be Fix, because Fix sucked.
It's out streaming right now, so...
Yeah, I don't know. If you want to watch it, go watch it.
Out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity.
Okay. Let's go on to our next trailer that also did come out recently. Let's talk about Zootopia. All right, so Zootopia 2 just finally brought out their official trailer, and there's a couple scenes that makes things a little bit interesting. So I remember they had some teaser trailers, which just shows you which characters are going to come back for Zootopia 2. Now we actually have an official trailer, but it actually tells you like what this story is going to be about. So from the trailer, Omid, what things pop out for you?
The things that pop out for me are, I like how this trailer really delves into the friendship between Judy and Nick. It does show that even though they are partners, they do have their troubles. And so, of course, they had to go to this police officer partner counseling therapy session. And it's just, hilarious seeing different kinds of animals be paired with each other. I think, honestly, the funniest one is the elephant and the mouse. That one got to me. But going back to Judy and Nick, I think this movie is going to explore the hardships, the sort of like conflicts that Nick and Judy have each other as partners.
So there's that, but at the same time, like I also did get to see what the story is going to be about for the next one. It's all about the snake that's wanted.
So, and this is where the trailer explicitly spells out that so the snake is the wanted fugitive, and it makes me think what kind of message are they going to go for?
Well, here's the thing that I also noticed as well. Apparently, Zootopia doesn't have snakes.
So
I don't know if they're like excluded from Zootopia. What do they do when it comes to those kind of like creatures? Because they are animals.
They are, and I think what makes me kind of worrisome about this is that it's going to repeat the same message as the first movie with
Prey and Predator. Yeah.
Prejudice. Yeah, like it's going to repeat the same message of prejudice, but except
I feel like it's going to be a little bit different, just because like what excludes snakes from Zootopia? Is it because they're scary? Do they eat so many people? I mean, to be fair, snakes do consume a lot of things.
They do, and I think that
well, I mean, like for hamsters and all the other things, I mean, snakes are kind of like a very
snakes love
dangerous. No, yeah, exactly. They're kind of a dangerous sort of creature. The reason why, like in Zootopia, they're kind of like, hey, the snake is wanted.
I kind of want to see them put a different twist on it, put a different spin on it, other than prejudice is bad.
So I don't think it's gonna be prejudice. I think it's just more of like Judy and Nick trying to do their best to say, hey, snakes aren't bad.
Just like the first movie said, predators aren't bad.
No, isn't it like where, yeah, predators aren't bad, yes, because a freaking sheep ends up like saying, hey, predators are bad.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they like locked up all the, big beast predators.
So the reptiles are going to be treated the same as the predators in the first movie, where they're going to be viewed as the big bad guys, but then Nick and Judy proved that reptiles aren't bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's a little bit different of a story, dude. I don't think it's not the same prejudice thing you're talking about.
Well, I mean, because it's
like,
prejudice against one group.
Well,
it's prejudice against one group, right?
Well, I guess, but like, I don't know. I just find it odd because like, I can't really say it's prejudice. It's just more of like giving Judy and Nick to say that snakes aren't bad. Like, versus what happened in Zootopia 1, where a sheep pretty much led all prey to say predators are bad.
I mean, granted, the movie hasn't even been released yet, so
but
who knows
the scenes kind of give it away a little bit.
Who knows how the movie's going to present the message? But I'm saying I want Zootopia 2 to like take a different approach to this message.
I'm pretty sure it is going to be a little bit different, though. We get to see brand new lands. We get to see a new reptile land. So there's like a little habitat where the snake is living in. There also is like some scenes where we get to see some characters return. I love that, by the way. We actually get to see all the characters return. So like you get to see you get to see Bogo the Buffalo. You get to see Clawhauser, Bellwether, the Sloth, Flash again. So
Flash.
If anything, like I love the fact that Zootopia, all the Zootopia's characters are coming back. Even the freaking Mafia Mouses as well. Like, yeah. I mean, if anything, I'm pretty happy that they at least brought everybody back, like mostly everybody back from Zootopia.
I will say, I'm going to say this right now, I'm going to be one of those guys to say Zootopia 1 didn't really need a sequel. I feel like it stands out great on its own. But however, one thing I'm excited for Zootopia 2, and that is the cast of characters, because the Zootopia world has such a wide variety of great characters like Bogo, Clawhauser, Flash, Hunter Dash, and Mr. Big. I love seeing those characters. They're a lot of fun to watch.
Okay, so the one thing that also comes to mind, I mean, we've already talked about this in episodes before, but it is a sequel to an IP from Disney, and we've seen how that has been happening when it comes to Disney properties. Some good, some bad, mostly bad. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Do you think it might go bad? Do you think it will be a little bit good? Zootopia 2?
I want to have faith in this movie because I'm a huge fan of the first movie and I love the cast of characters. But like I said, I feel like this sequel was unnecessary, as with most of the other Disney sequels. So, as someone who thinks that Zootopia 1 is perfection, I'm a bit worrisome about Zootopia 2. It's going to be an inferior Zootopia movie, just like Moana 2 was inferior to the first. Ralph Breaks the Internet was inferior to the first. Frozen 2 was inferior to the first. You get what I mean?
Yeah. But the whole trend when it comes to sequels, I understand sometimes it may not work out. Like the last one was Moana 2, and that turned out to be a bust, honestly. And I'm really hoping Zootopia 2 does end up like becoming better, because I really do think this franchise does deserve like another sequel. Because like Zootopia, yes, it did have its little mini series. Oh, it just talks about the other characters in Zootopia besides Judy and Nick. I want to see what happened to them after that, because they are partners now. They are partners in the police force, and it turns out it's not working well with them in the police force. So, like, how are they going to fix their relationship? Or how can they still be partners even if they have differences? I feel like that's a great part of the story for the movie, but at the same time, I also want to see like the whole point of the whole point of the movie: why snakes are banned from Zootopia, why this snake is a wanted fugitive. Did he like eat guinea pigs? The reason why he was wanted. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of loopholes in this. Like, there's a lot of like holes to fill when it comes to this movie, and they haven't answered it yet. That's the reason why I'm kind of like glued into like seeing this Zootopia film, because I want to see how these answers once I watch the film.
You know what? I will say that Zootopia would have served better as a Zootopia legitimate full TV series.
Well, Zootopia did have a TV series, but that's more of a mini series.
It's a mini series, and I feel like there needs to be more of that. As opposed to a sequel movie, like go the Tangled route and make a TV series, full on TV series based on the movie. That's what Zootopia should have been.
Yeah. I got nothing much to say. I just am excited for this movie. I am going to watch this probably in the first week of the movie, when it comes out and all, because everybody was hyped about how Disney's going to try to make things better. Like, this year for Disney has been a little bit meh right now, with Moana 2 sucking, with Lilo and Stitch at least giving some mixed reviews, and then Elio absolutely failing. This is their lifesaver, honestly. Disney needs a lifesaver. I think Zootopia 2 is it.
Yeah, but that's for the future to be determined. And also, as for me, even as someone who considers Zootopia to be one of the greatest Disney movies, I'm a bit cautious about this. I look at this and I think, did we really need this? And also, given the track record of sequels that have come out recently that haven't turned out great, that makes me all the more worrisome.
Yeah. Well, no matter what, this movie Zootopia 2 comes out November 26th during Thanksgiving. That's cool. Yeah. Thanksgiving treat for everybody to watch Zootopia 2.
Yeah, so after you've had your turkey mashed potatoes, go out to your theaters, watch Zootopia 2.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. We can't wait to see it. So, yeah, whoever wants to watch Zootopia 2, it's going to be out there for you November 26th.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this news happened recently this week, and I honestly didn't expect this to happen, but apparently we are bringing back a fandom. A very cursed fandom. Welcome back, Homestuckers. Great. Just great.
That was not on my bingo card at all, because it has been years, probably a decade, since, we have seen the words Homestuck.
Yeah, hold on. Let me transition. Yeah, it has not been the greatest words to say about the fact Homestuck is back. Do you know about it a little bit?
I mean, I haven't seen the webcomic, but...
there's a webcomic, that's right. I was going to say, and there's no animated series, it's a webcomic.
Yeah, so I haven't read the original webcomic, but I am familiar with how popular Homestuck was at the time.
Yeah, they had a huge fandom for sure, but what I've remembered from the Homestuck community is that there are a lot of cosplayers that dress themselves up in gray, like paint color and stuff like that. But there's some a little bit stories when it comes to the Homestuck fandom. I remember... I could just literally just say this one time. I remember in ALA 2018, 2017, a convention that I attended to, people in Homestuck cosplay had their gray color on, and they were in the hot tub. And yeah, that color goes away when you go in the hot tub, okay?
Yeah.
So it stained the whole pool, and they had to do a lot of cleaning during that time.
Good. They deserve to. Like, they caused it. So.
Yeah. No. Not them. It was the hotel. Staff. It was the hotel that had to do all the cleaning.
Okay, I know. Like, I feel bad for the poor staff that they had to go through this, because these Homestuck cosplayers weren't aware that, the paint, makes water dirty. Like,
well, guys, if you're into the Homestuck community, or you were in the Homestuck community a long time ago, it has been resurrected. There is a brand new animated series made by Andrew Hussey. But the one thing that kind of stood out to me was the fact that Vivzy Pop, aka Vivian, the person who made Hazbin Hotel, is going to be involved in this cartoon.
Yeah, I never thought that Vivzy Pop and Homestuck would be involved
I think
together.
This is again, Vivzy Pop. Honestly, here's the thing to straighten out here. By the way, she's not making it. She's producing it, so she's still involved with the whole series. And also her animated her animated her animated company is also working on it too. Which kind of tells me like, oh, great. This doesn't make me sound great. The Homestuck is back.
But here's the thing. I've seen on her social media where it's been pretty much saying, oh, stay tuned for a new announcement. I have something big to share.
Yeah, that was the thing about it. I was thinking like, oh, are we getting new Hazbin Hotel? Hell of a Boss stuff? Anything new from the Hellverse? No, it's this. And I'm like,
and
I think she brought hell. She brought hell indeed.
and it's been, I felt teased by it because I was low-key expecting there to be a brand new Hellverse series. Like, I didn't think that, she would be involved or producing a series based on a pre-existing IP like Homestuck.
Yeah, and it's an IP that's kind of dead. Like, have you guys heard about Homestuck recently? Like, not really. Although, to be fair, like, some people are getting back Homestuck for some reason. Like, guys, this thing's dead. Please don't bring it up or anything.
Exactly. It has been possibly a decade since we've even heard the words Homestuck being uttered. So what made, so why now all of a sudden is the Homestuck animated series going to be existing?
Yeah,
why?
I have no idea, but like, I know for a fact a lot of people who know about the Homestuck topic will definitely be onto this new animated series. Because like, I remember when the news came out, people have been tweeting, Homestuck's back, yeah. And, some folks were like in the Homestuck fandom, yeah, cool, but I was never a part of the Homestuck fandom, and I've seen what you guys have done, okay?
Yeah, needless to say, now, I'm not saying this to all Homestuck fans. There are some, I'm sure they're cool, but some of you may have grown up already. But some of the other Homestuck fans are, they're an interesting group of people.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
Here's the thing. Don't vandalize your freaking properties. I'm hearing all these stories that happened when Homestuckers came by. I remember, like, I talked about the ALA story. Now I talk about the Sack Anime story, too, where, like, they vandalized a freaking statue.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
I'm just saying, I don't know. It just blows my mind that Homestuck is back. And I'm just hoping the people who grew up with Homestuck are now more mature and stop being stupid. And like those who are going to be started watching this show will, get a fandom again, and hopefully it doesn't get too destructive,
Yeah, like thankfully that was just a phase. And yeah, I'm sure that some of y'all who was part of the phase has grown up and matured since then. And if you have, good for you. But I am saying that, yeah, it is something to be unexpected, and something tells me that this is going to revive the Homestuck fandom.
Yes, it definitely will revive the Homestuck fandom. Oh, God.
For better or for worse.
I never expected this. I have an imagination that next year, I don't know when it comes out, I forgot. It doesn't have a release date yet, but when it comes out, Homestucker fans are going to go back to their cosplays.
They are, but like some of the old Homestuck fans, I don't think they'll be vandalizing them. At least most of them aren't.
I don't predict it, but they have done that before. I don't know how the Homestuck fandom was before, but they have been kind of destructive, so.
But we're talking about there's going to be a new generation of Homestuck fans.
I'm still predicting, maybe their old adults say like, hey, let's do something in the pool.
Oh, no. Especially if you're that age. Like, if you're as old as us and doing that crap, no.
No. Again, it's unpredictable what this fandom is going to do, but I just hope it's not destruction again,
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully it's just playful teasing as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, but that's it.
But here's some good news when it comes to this particular Homestuck animated series. There is actually a pretty good voice cast that's in it. You have Toby, Radiation Fox, who composed the Homestuck segments. You got voices like John Egbert, Jeremy Lay, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, a.k.a. Tails from, the Sonic series, and Adam MacArthur.
Marco.
Oh, Adam MacArthur.
Adam MacArthur is Marco.
Yeah, but he's not Marco here. But either way, like the voice cast actually looks promising. You have Jeremy Lake, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and Adam MacArthur. So does it actually help you with watching this series?
Very slightly, but not really. I mean, they are really fine actors. Of course, Colleen and Adam MacArthur, very stellar.
Don't forget Jeremy Lay. Jeremy Lay has just done a lot of voice acting in anime.
All of them are stellar, but casting choice is not enough to make me want to see the series right away.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be animated well. It is made by Spittlehorse, who worked with VVZ Pop, so could be animated well. But again, my little distinct when it comes to the Homestuck fandom is just not good. like I don't want to get myself deep into the Homestuck fandom. No, I don't want to get deep into that. It's kind of like telling yourself that you watched one episode of My Little Pony and you became a part of the Brody fandom. Okay, so look at you.
It was just a phase.
I'm just saying, there's some weird, bad fandoms that happened back in the 2010s. So
yeah, but well, let's be honest here. Every fandom does have its bad eggs. Every fandom does have its weird, apples right there. But
why you think apples when you talk about horse ponies?
But I'm saying, every fandom does have its bad eggs, but there are some bad fans that are more toxic than others. Just saying.
Yeah, and this particular one, this is all my bias, by the way. If I'm going to offend a couple of Homestuck fans, I'm very, very sorry, but this is my bias when it comes to them. Okay, I just know that they have had a history of destruction. So,
yeah. We've had. I think we've had bad experiences with some of the Has-Been Hotel fans. Like I said, this doesn't.
Has-Been Hotel fans doesn't destroy stuff.
No, I mean Homestuck.
Yeah,
I meant to say we've had bad experiences of watching some of the weird Homestuck fans, but it doesn't apply to all Homestuck fans. I'm sure some Homestuck fans are cool.
Yeah,
there are some that are really weird.
Again, it's most of them.
I remember two of them. I remember Homestuck fans giving piggyback rides, going wild.
Yeah, again, they told you a little bit destructive and kind of immature.
That's the biggest.
I'm telling you, something's going on with the Homestuck community, and now that they're gonna be brought back, who knows? There might be some craziness that will happen. There might be some ease, but at the same time, I'm not ready. Whatever, it'll come back. I have a feeling it will. Once the whole show comes back, Homestuck fans are back. Just let go. They're gonna go to conventions. They're gonna go do some crazy stuff like they've done in Homestuck before. So
yeah,
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. And if anything, like animators, you're gonna do a great job when it comes to this particular show. I am not gonna be watching it because I have my little gripe when it comes to Homestuck. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't read the Homestuck webcomic. What I just know about the Homestuck series is that the fandom is interesting.
Yes,
but
very interesting.
I don't think that's gonna stop me from watching it. I mean, I'll see how the reception is before I start watching it. How is it going to be?
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, Homestuck fans, you got your food, and you pretty much can't wait for it to come out. But that is the announcement that happened this week, where Vivzy Pop, aka Vivienne, who made Has-Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, has made an announcement that she is working on a Homestuck animated series. Yeah, good luck with that. Look, Vivzy, if you're watching this podcast, I just can't wait for Has-Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, the new stuff that's coming out for the Hellverse. As you continue on with Homestuck, I hope that goes well, but I'm not watching it.
Vivzy Pod, for your sake, I do hope that you have great success with Homestuck. Honestly, the main reason I would be watching Homestuck is mainly to support Vivzy Pod, who is producing it.
Okay.
So that's pretty much my thing.
I ain't got nothing much to say. Good luck, Homestuck fans. We don't have a release date for the new Homestuck animated series, but we'll update you when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right, so let's actually hop on to our main subject tonight. And, well, Omid, it's time to go back in time because we grew up in I can't really say my date, but to be fair, we grew up in the 90s, to say. Do you remember the times in the 90s where, we've had fun times together? Do you remember, renting VHS tapes?
Oh, yeah.
Buying VHS tapes? Do you still have that collection of Nickelodeon VHS tapes, by the way?
I did. I actually had a collection of VHS tapes in which the grand majority of VHS tapes were orange rather than black. Those are
Nickelodeon ones, yes.
No, but it tells you how much of a massive Nickelodeon fan I was.
Yeah. Which collection did you keep? Like Rugrats or Outer Monsters or something?
90% of it was Rugrats.
Nice. Yeah, the 90s were quite an interesting time. I just remember renting DVDs instead of streaming right now. We went to Blockbuster and rented a video game or a DVD or a VHS tape.
Oh, yeah, I definitely remember that. Thanks to Blockbuster, we were able to get a experience variety of media based on us renting instead of buying it.
Yeah, what are the things in the 90s that we can recall?
Commercials.
What kind of commercials do you like?
The commercials were Baby Bottle Pop.
Oh, Baby Bottle Pop. Yeah. the lingo when it comes to those 90s what was it?
And the cereal commercials. The cereal commercials a lot of fun.
Rice Krispie Treats.
Tricks. Silly Rabbit Tricks for kids.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Toucan Sam, the Fruit Loops one.
Follow Your Nose.
Yeah. And also Tony the Tiger, the
They're
Frosted
great.
Flakes one.
Yeah. Oh my God. We have a Breakfast Club all over now.
Yeah. Milk and cereal.
I just remember the Rice Krispie song. It's like Snap, Crackle, Pop, you know?
Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Another one, Lucky Charms.
Dear God, that's so great. Do you remember? Well, also in the 90s, like this is where the old video game systems start to come in. You know, I remember my first video game system being the SNES. Yeah,
Mine was too. Mine was the Super Nintendo as well.
really, because I remember they had a fight between Sega and Nintendo. Because I remember going to like, do you remember Sears back then when you were playing like? I remember like playing video games like up on the screen. Do you remember those kind of times?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like those were some of the best times in Sears when I was a kid.
I remember I remember playing like GameCube games and then like, sorry, GameCube.
GameCube was 2000.
Yeah, I remember playing the N64. Yeah, the N64 was also around the 90s as well.
N64 for me was the peak of the 90s for me.
Yeah.
The peak. Like N64, I have so many great memories with it.
Yeah. Again, I'm trying to like look back into like what things made it 90s for us. Like,
And this the 90s Disney Renaissance. Let's forget the
oh yeah, forget about that. The movies that made
Yes.
it. Well, I didn't actually start watching the movies until I was like in elementary school. So like, because like it came out when I was born. Like what was it? Little Mermaid came out when I was born. Then Aladdin and then Lion King also came out as well. But what was the first movie that you watched in theaters?
That's it. You know what? Honestly, I remember the first cartoon I watched as a after I was born. I can't remember the first movie experience of my life. I think I remember vaguely Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hey, very nice movie.
Dark movie, but it is so awesome.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It is kind of dark. You're right with the whole thing, but that's like around the mid 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, so of course as a kid, I didn't really get the movie, but I just enjoyed for the visual experience, the animation.
I remember my first movie, I think, was Space Jam.
Ooh, Space Jam. That's a nice choice.
I think it was Space Jam or Road to El Dorado. It's either one of those two. Because I remember like going into a movie theater that was empty. It was like, hey, why is it empty? Why is it dark? And then I was kind of wondering if we got the right theater. I was with my dad, I think. And we came out to the theater, and then like after a couple minutes later, more movie goers came in, and that's when they started moving the trailers and stuff like that. And that's when I first saw Space Jam, when I saw Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny together. So
nice. Yeah, no wonder you're a massive Looney Tunes and NBA fan. That was your first experience. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Actually, hang on.
Okay, so I was actually one of the first people that actually loved the strap-on shoes. You know, you don't have to tie on shoes. Like now, I actually have to tie on shoes. But remember before where you had like the shoes that you just strap on?
The strap-on, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
it was so much easier for me to put on shoes. And when I was growing up and I had to move on to tying shoes, I was, beyond hesitant to do so because I didn't know how to tie shoes at the time.
I know, I mean, either. It took me a while to
I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't ready.
I just remember going to like a Payless shoe store and buying one of those like strap-on shoes.
Yeah.
So I was like, it makes it easier for me as a kid just to strap it on instead of like tying it.
Yeah, thanks, Mom, for all these shoe shopping trips.
Yeah, so I mean, I've tried to look back at like all the things 90s for us, but the one thing that we're going to be talking about tonight is the 90s cartoons that made us grow up. Because, we're going back a little bit of a nostalgia trip. And I know some of you guys are probably a little bit younger than us, so some of you guys may not know the cartoons that we're going to be talking about. But every network that we've talked about recently has all their cartoons from the 1990s, which is great, like Nickelodeon Cartoon Network. Although there's some blocks that have ceased to exist now. Like, I really felt so bad the fact that Fox Kids, Kids WB, One Saturday Morning, they all came from the 90s and now they're gone.
Yeah, and they were such great blocks to watch, especially like kids, like, they would watch it.
That's the thing about it. Like, Saturday mornings. Every Saturday morning, you wake up hella early to watch your favorite cartoons.
Like, they don't have to go to school, so they can stay home and watch cartoons. Like, it really did help, kids get to experience animation on weekends, like when they don't have to go to school.
Right, exactly. And you know what? I do love the fact that like they have these Saturday morning cartoon blocks. It just got me so jazzed up about these cartoons that were up. Like every freaking Saturday, I remember watching One Saturday Morning all the time. Like click on ABC and there is One Saturday Morning. You get to see your favorite shows like Doug, Pepper Ann, Recess.
Oh yeah, Recess was definitely a visual marvel because of how massive they expand upon the school playground itself.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, all these cartoon blocks are gone, unfortunately. I would love to watch Kids WB again, but that's gone. Yeah, at 4.
Yeah, see, Kids WB, especially, like, Kids WB had a wide variety of different kinds of cartoons from comedy to action.
Yeah, indeed. So again, like, these things that we grew up with kind of like reflected who we are right now. Like, I think it was because of the cartoons that I watched back in the 90s, the reason why I'm getting into animation, this reason why we're talking. That's why we kind of grew up and actually made this podcast, you know?
Yeah, so if not for all these great cartoons from the 90s, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Like right today.
If it wasn't for them, then we would have gotten like this animation thing. So yeah, I don't know, like it's ever since I started watching cartoons back in the 90s, is the reason why I kind of like got that as like a thing that I keep on watching for. So I kept watching like good shows like Danny Phantom. I even watched the adult animation shows like Simpsons and Family Guy. So yeah, if it wasn't for them, I would have not gotten to animation.
Exactly. And also, these cartoons also help shape our, tastes in movies, shows, and all that jazz.
Indeed, yeah. So let's go ahead and go a little nostalgia trip and actually talk about the cartoons that we grew up with and some of the TV shows that we also grew up with. Let's actually start off with Nickelodeon itself.
Nick.
Okay, so that's also Nickelodeon. That's also 90s, by the way. I think that's when they started the actual theme song of Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of the promos in my VHS tapes. They did sing that song as well. It was a catchy one.
Yeah, well, it's like it definitely was catchy because everybody was singing to it and everything. And you're wearing a shirt right now about.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. There's a triforce of my 90s childhood.
Okay.
Disney movies, Nintendo games, and Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah. All right, so let's actually talk about the 1990s Nickelodeon programming because they had so many big names out here. So they didn't really go by like years, unfortunately, but this is the wiki, so they showed me like what they had. So I'm just gonna go down every cartoon on the list. Well, they also had shows too, like All That, for example. That was a 90s show.
Yeah, but that's live action though.
Well, to be fair, like it did lead up to Kenan and Kel.
Which was also an amazing show.
Yeah, I mean, like, so if it wasn't for All That, you wouldn't have gotten Kenan and Kel. And Kenan right now is a very popular star himself. He's in SNL, out of all places.
Yeah, and also, Kel Mitchell is, he's appeared sometimes, not in Saturday Night Live show, but in other projects. Like, you remember the latest Good Burger 2 movie?
Yeah, there you go. But Kel Mitchell's not becoming more of an icon now because, he's been out of acting for quite a while now. He's back into acting, but I just remember him just saying, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes. Hey!
But I think like the earliest Nicktoons came from 1991 with Doug, Rugrats, and the Ren Stimpy show.
That is true. That is how it all started for Nickelodeon with those cartoons. Yes, they are the original Nickelodeon 3.
They're the OG trio.
Now they're all different because like you get Rugrats, which was for little kids. Doug, which is for teenagers, and Ren and Stimpy was kind of more for the mature audience. Don't you think?
Yeah. Now what separates the three is the kind of humor that they go for. Like, of course, you got Rugrats going for, like, the childish, whimsical kind of humor with the babies going on adventures. You got Doug taking this slice of life route in which, older kids can relate to. And, of course, you got Ren and Stimpy. And to say that Ren and Stimpy, it goes for wacky hijinks is an understatement.
Yeah, because there's
wild.
So much stuff going around when it comes to Ren and Stimpy. Honestly, when I grew up watching this show, I kind of got off of it. Like, I watched more Looney Tunes because I remember it was on Nickelodeon as well. Looney Tunes was there. Like, they used to have it on... I remember they used to have it, like, in blocks where Looney Tunes would just pop up and you're just watching randomly Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Which, by the way, Ren and Stimpy should be thanking Looney Tunes from the bottom of their hearts because Looney Tunes is what inspired Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, really? Is that true?
Like, from the humor, like, Ren and Stimpy, you could tell that it's heavily inspired by Looney Tunes because of the humor.
Yeah. I know that's the original 3 in Nickelodeon, but there are many more cartoons that Nickelodeon has done in the 90s. But from those original 3, that was I would say the trio that started Nickelodeon's little run on original content. Because Nickelodeon back then was just doing, like, old cartoons and old shows. Like, you can't do this on television. They've run Looney Tunes and a bunch of others. Again, I have to look back at like the references, but they did license cartoons to stream on Nickelodeon, like Looney Tunes, for example. But again, we'll go ahead and run down the list of like cartoons that were in the 90s. We'll start with the A. So Our Real Monsters. Do you remember that show?
I remember All Real Monsters. It was pretty much the OG Monsters Inc. in a sense.
I actually kind of liked it too, because like it was more of like the monsters doing their own thing, and also you can also see the animation style made by Classic Suspo.
Yes, like if you see that kind of animation style, it just screams.
I mean, the
Classic
whole
Sumo.
freaking humans look like Rugrats. So I was like, huh, this looks familiar. That's maybe the reason why I got into Our Real Monsters, is because the Rugrats animation style was there.
But yeah, when you see that animation style, not just this, but also Rugrats, eventually Wild Thornberries, As Told by Ginger, and all
Yeah,
that
well, because
stuff,
they're all made by Classic Supo, and they've made so many cartoons.
They made so many cartoons and so many great ones.
Yeah. So yeah, Our Real Monsters actually now that was based off the Kablam mini series that they had over there. Do you remember Kablam, by the way?
I do remember Kablam. I remember these two kids.
Yeah, they were the two hosts, but they also did make a variety of shorts. So they had like the Offbeats. They had, do you remember that Offbeats? They had
Action League Now.
Actually, yeah, I just said that right now. Actually, now they had what was it? What was that girl? That little girl, Agatha or something. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, like Agatha. It was the one where
it's like a real human face.
A real human face.
And then like her body's all animated and stuff.
And like it's kind of like, like her face is all gray.
Yeah.
And all stuff. Yeah, I do remember, like, it was kind of a wild trip for me because I was a bit freaked out by it. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
was
lie.
freaked out, but like I think she also had an original series for that. Who knows? And then of course the Offbeat, which I thought was also really good. Like it was animated really well, and at the same time they also did have shorts on Nickelodeon. I was thinking that it's old cartoon, but the Offbeats were pretty cool. I like the crew that they had over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember Offbeats quite a bit. I remember Kablam definitely, especially with, what we discussed before. But
Yeah.
Offbeat wasn't something I got into as much as the others.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes, I've watched Are You Afraid of the Dark, and it is an introduction for me to the horror genre. Because you see all these kids going around like in the campfire, telling us scary stories, and yeah, each of them give me goosebumps.
Oh, Blue's Clues was also a 90s show, by the way.
Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues. I just remember I saw Steve. This is when Steve started everything. Oh, God. I remember watching it during the summertime. Like, when you're off school and everything and then the preschool programming happens. Yeah,
yes.
dude, that was sick.
Blue's Clues was hard one.
Okay, so that also reminds me of Nick Jr. shows. Remember Little Bear, Franklin, was it Oswald or something?
Oswald came out in 2000.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Gullah Gullah Island.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good one too.
Gullah Gullah Island.
See, that's a good one as well.
And yeah, some of these Nick Jr. shows were quite bangers themselves. Especially Blue's Clues was nothing but wholesome. Like, oh my gosh, Blue's Clues. Especially Steve Burns, the great host.
It was so interactive, considering like you have Steve walking through the green screen, but at the same time you're also interacting, saying a clue, and then you're trying to figure it out yourself. It's really teachable,
And that's what makes you respect Blue's Clues so much is the fact of how it encourages children to think. It encourages children to solve problems, and that's what makes me adore it.
That's why I like it, because it also solves problems and stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Blue's Clues was definitely huge in my childhood for sure. I loved watching Blue's Clues.
We stand Steve Burns.
Cat Dog. Yeah, I remember being a huge fan of the Cat Dog series. I remember watching the movie as well, where we get to see the parents of Cat Dog.
Yeah, and the parents, the parents, funny enough, don't look at all like Cat Dog.
They don't. But like, how did they end up getting a cat dog to be their kid?
No, I don't want to know.
I don't care. Either way, like the whole adventure for them to find their parents was just awesome. So and then like throughout the whole show of Cat Dog, you're just seeing them just live their everyday lives, to say.
Yeah, and I will say, Cat Dog, while fun to watch, can be very mean at times. It could be a bit mean-spirited.
Yeah, I can understand the bully dogs. They always are really mean to them.
Why aren't the greasers in jail? Because the greasers keep on harassing Cat Dog.
Also, that bunny is suspicious to me.
Rancid Rabbit.
Yeah, he's suspicious to me.
Like Rancid Rabbit, of course, is.
And he's like taking every job or something, because like he's always there whenever Cat Dog is doing something schematic or something.
He's the typical corrupt rich man, the corrupt leader, but needless to say, Cat Dog's antagonists were nothing short of hateable because they don't receive consequences in the end.
Right.
But other than that, Cat Dog was thoroughly fun to watch because of the personalities between Cat and Dog working off each other.
Yeah. Do you remember Eureka's Castle? I remember that one.
Eureka's Castle?
Eureka's Castle, yeah. I remember watching when I was a little kid. It was live action with a couple animation. I don't know if you remember that show.
I don't think I've seen Eureka's Castle.
But... Gullah Gullah Island, we talked about that. Oh, come on now. We got to talk about Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold is
Hey Arnold!
Yeah, that one, I think, I remember just glued into the show. Like, I I remember watching episodes of it, like whenever it comes on Nickelodeon, I'm just like, okay, new episode. Oh, it's not a new episode, but it's like an episode. I remember this episode. Then I just watch it, have it like glued to my eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah, Hey Arnold is a show that I thoroughly enjoyed as a kid, and here's the thing that makes Hey Arnold so amazing. It's even better when you watch it as an adult because of the heavy topics that the show covers. Like the heavy topics that the show covers, especially Helga.
Well, especially when it gets to the later seasons, because Helga has a really bad family. And then Arnold has just living his life, but he also has some troubles, especially with his parents, because he had to find his parents here and there. But no, if anything, like every child had their distinct story, Rhonda being famous, but at the same time she also has stories where if she gets poor, how can you survive being poor,
and also what they did with Harold as a character, the episodes that star Harold, I like that they gave some layers to him. Like, he's not just this typical bully. There's actually more to Harold's character.
There's some depth when it comes to him. They're all, even Sid and the big tall guy himself. Stinky, yeah. Both of them have their own side stories as well. Stinky would have been a very popular star, but in the end, he decided not to sign the deal.
And also, he grew a pumpkin. He was a pumpkin farmer.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. They tried to win a contest or something, and he won by just trying to get that pumpkin all the way over to he became a big gardener, to say. And
that's what I like about the show, is that the show doesn't sugarcoat the heavy topics at all. It's there to show kids that, the real world can suck, but you can prevail through if you pull through, you believe in yourself, and as long as you try hard.
Yeah, that's true. Do you remember the game show Legends of the Hidden Temple?
I remember Legends of the Hidden Temple, and also remember Double Dare.
Yeah, Double Dare. I forgot to mention that too. There was a lot of huge Nick real life games that also happened as well, and that was pretty fun also.
Yeah, they're the kind of games that get you invested in what goes on between the contestants, and I do like that.
I remember Guts as well. That was a really cool thing, because they run around a track. They did so many obstacle courses here, and I remember them climbing up the mountain to get something at the top to win a prize.
So you could say this is children's introduction to the game show genre.
There's also, like I said, the offbeats. We'll talk about cartoons later, though. Rocket Power actually was a 90s cartoon.
Rocket Power.
Now, everybody, I think this kind of was my enlightenment on extreme sports, like skateboarding, scootering, rollerblading. You see Rocket Power, they do so much extreme sports, like surfing and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is how I got into skateboarding, because of them.
Yeah, I never got into extreme sports myself, but Rocket Power did encourage me to be more active. So I'll give it that.
Yeah, I just remember seeing all these terms like a shooby. Do you want to be a shooby?
Or woogie woogie woogie. Yeah, you could tell Rocket Power was not ashamed to admit this is a 90s cartoon, because there's so many there's so much 90s slang that's heavily outdated to this
I know
nowadays.
But back then we kind of got through the lingo of everything. We didn't do woogie woogie woogie. We ended up doing shooby. I remember saying so much shooby back in the 90s. Yeah. Oh, you a shooby.
Or calling one of your team members Squid.
Oh, God. Oh, Squid, Sam. Squid? Oh, God.
See, Twister was the OG Squid, but then when Sam came along,
he was the real Squid after that. Yeah, but then he got used to it. If anything, yeah, he's supposed to be the nerd of the group anyway. So
yeah, I will say that Sam was quite an interesting character, because it's pretty much a nerd character trying to blend in.
Yeah,
to
be an extreme sports guy. Yes.
And he does struggle, but then there are times where he can be clutch.
Yeah. Either way, there's so many great episodes. I remember they did a whole Capture the Flag episode where Otto got cheated or something.
Yeah. Well, basically, technically, Otto was attempting to cheat, but then Reggie and Twister's team backfired on him.
Yeah, there you go.
So Otto got
again, I don't want to go descriptive on every episode, okay? I just want to talk about my favorite moments in Rocket Power. There you go. Right. Yeah. Either way, there are just so many great moments in Rocket Power. I remember watching that every day also. I even played the video game for the GameCube. I know that came out many years later, but I think I was so obsessed with Rocket Power that I ended up buying the video games.
Strangely enough, when it comes to Rocket Power games, I remember playing the PC game. The PC game is where each individual Rocket Power character has their own sport to play. Like, you control Otto while you're skateboarding. You control Reggie while she's playing volleyball. You control Sam while he's playing pogo ball with a pogo stick. All that stuff.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's Rocket Power for you. But yeah, I mean, it definitely was a fun series. I mean, obviously, Rugrats is definitely one of the hands down series I watched when I was a kid. I remember watching the first 3 seasons of Rugrats, and I think they're memorable to me. When Dill and Kimmy started joining the Rugrats, that's when I started to kind of like fade away from this show.
Yeah, slightly, but not by much. But you could tell by the small decline in quality. Not big, but bit small.
Well, the animation style changed, by the way. That's even like in season 4, where you get to see Tom. It's so different because like season 1, you can totally see that they are definitely like hand drawn differently, and then season 2 and 3 they improved, and then 3, and then when 4 and onward is just absolute improvement. It was just different. Like the colors were so different and everything.
Yeah, see, by each passing season, the animation grew to be much better by each passing season. Like if you look at back at Rugrats season 1, you can tell the animation's very outdated. Like, oh my gosh, like I love Rugrats.
Either way, like I did like season 2 and 3. I think they're still my favorite seasons. Like, you get to see the crew doing their own thing. So again, memorable episodes from Rugrats. I'm not gonna go through every one of them, but like there have been really good. So yeah, Rugrats I think definitely is wholesome to my heart. I cannot say like I hate it. I know that I hate the 3D animated one that came out recently, but they kind of butchered it. I kind of hated it. They kind of made me like have a little sour taste when it comes to Rugrats after that. But at least the original OG series is still on Paramount Plus, and I'm watching that. It's good to see it when you watch it again.
And also, fun fact, it's also the first show I ever watched. Rugrats was where it all started.
Really?
Yes.
I don't even remember my first show that I watched, dude.
Like, it's a bit...
maybe Looney Tunes. It might be Looney Tunes.
Like, I'm just saying right now, it's a bit ironic that I watched my first show about, babies was the very first show I watched. So I watched it as a baby. I'm watching other babies.
How would you know? Because, like, I just remember, like, being 5 years old, actually knowing my stuff. I don't remember seeing myself 4 years old or younger, actually knowing what shows I watched.
I don't know. It's just like, I think it's a little memory thing.
Maybe I have like very good memory. I just remember watching like some Looney Tunes and 5 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. And Looney Tunes does stand out as some of the great cartoons. And it makes me glad that, we watched Looney Tunes since Nickelodeon. We've been fans ever since.
Yeah. Rocko's Modern Life was also a huge one too, 1990s. You know what's kind of funny? When I watched Rocko's Modern Life, it was like, how do I say? It was until later on when I was older that I started investing more in Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, Rocko's Modern Life is basically an exaggerated slice of life show, and I mean very exaggerated. Like, I
know they got really like, if you watch it when you were older, like when you were younger, you're like, it's funny. But then when you watch it when you're older, you're like, oh, they let this joke slip.
Yeah, and also, I think that's the beauty of Rocko's Modern Life. Like, when when you're younger, you watch it for the wacky hijinks and shenanigans. But then when you watch it as an adult, you think, oh my god, I relate to this show so much because that's happened to me.
It's more like the adult jokes actually were there. The adult jokes were actually there. It's just that maybe for like the older audiences, they'll see it and they'll be like, ha, they'll laugh, but we'll be laughing at other things.
Yeah, so I think the best kind of kids shows are the ones that have adult shows that go over kids' heads.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I think Rocko's Modern Life was about, especially the first season. The first season definitely had a lot of adult jokes that are in it. It wasn't until, again, I watched it recently, like when it came on, like for the Splat, for example, that I saw it and I'm like, oh, this was what happened. Oh, Spunky did that with the mop. Oh.
Oh, God. Yeah, and I think some of my favorite characters in that show were easily the Big Heads.
Oh, yeah, they're really funny, a couple.
My God.
Also, there was a lot of adulting in that thing. Goddamn.
Especially
there's so many like innuendos that kind of tell you like, oh, they're doing something together.
Especially with Bev, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of like sussy things about that couple.
Like, you could tell Bev had a thing for Rocko.
Oh god, no, stop it now. We're being a little bit too mature here.
But yeah, voiced tremendously by Charlie Adler, by the way.
I know. Yeah, they're a little too informative about that. But yeah, either way, Rocko's Modern Life, I think, definitely was one I loved in the 90s. Now, somebody will say otherwise about this cartoon series, but I'm gonna say it right now. SpongeBob SquarePants is a '90s cartoon.
Well, yeah, obviously, like no joke, like, you know, SpongeBob was released in the late 1990s at 1999. And what's 1999? It's a 1990s year.
Yeah, and that's just the first season of SpongeBob. And to be fair, that's, I think, kind of like what triggered me into loving SpongeBob, because like that first episode already tells you like this is how it all go. It's all crazy shenanigans and stuff like that. I just it started it up for me, like how SpongeBob became such a big like icon for me in so many years, like ever since that first episode. Like I started loving the show from there on.
I will say that the first season of SpongeBob was definitely the most down-to-earth and the most inviting of the SpongeBob seasons. Like, it definitely felt like, you know, you feel welcome to Bikini Bottom. You feel like you're diving into the ocean yourself.
They also were creative when it comes to their episodes, too. I mean, they also did do, like, live-action scenes with the cartoon. Remember? They did, like, Hooky, for example. They had them fishing and stuff like that.
I remember that, yeah.
What was it? Rock Bottom was also another episode that I'm kind of like getting into as well. But yeah. I know you want to be descriptive about it, but I'm just saying like there's some really iconic episodes in SpongeBob that made me like a big SpongeBob fan back then. I remember owning VHS tapes for SpongeBob.
Oh, I remember, like, the grand majority of my VHS tapes was Rugrats, but I ended up collecting SpongeBob as well.
Yeah.
Like, Rugrats and SpongeBob were biggest parts of
Either way, SpongeBob SquarePants definitely is a huge icon. I know people are going to say, oh, it's a little older than that. No, it's a 90s cartoon, man. It's a 90s cartoon. I'm going to stand by it. It's a 90s cartoon.
It's 90s cartoon, end of story, because it was released in the 90s.
Yeah, it was 1999. Everyone always, like, does the flip thing, because I remember a debate between Amphibia being a 2020 cartoon and a 2010s cartoon. It's a 2010s cartoon.
It's 2019.
People have to, because it's on the 9. Oh, it's on the edge of 2020. Like, no, it's still a 2010 cartoon.
Exactly. It's still in the decade.
So people have to realize that.
I was like,
okay. And last but not least, there's also Wild Thornberrys. And it was interesting because, yes, it's a nature documentary series and all that kind of stuff, but I wasn't glued to it until, like, later on in the show. I was like, oh, randomly I saw Eliza and Debbie talking, and, oh, this is interesting. I actually like what this is going on. Having Eliza talk to animals, to Darwin, to, Donnie, and so many of these animals. I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. This is good.
And I think the character that really stood out to me is Nigel Thornberry with his wacky personality, his love and enthusiasm for adventure. Like, oh my gosh, he is a smashing,
Smashing.
But yeah, Nigel Thornberry is quite a.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's a memeable character to this day. But still, it is nice to like. What I like about Wild Thornberrys is that it feels like you're traveling around the world with them.
Yeah.
Because each and every
That's true, because like every place they go to, they always go to a certain area in the country, in the whole entire world, to say.
Yeah.
One particular episode I remember is that they actually were lost at sea. I don't know if you remember that.
They were lost at sea, and I also do remember. Do you remember when they were going to? They were in a snowy winter.
Yeah. I think I remember that one too.
So yeah, needless to say,
they go through so many adventures. They go through so many adventures, and I like it. That's what makes it like a little bit fun when it comes to the Wild Thornberrys. But like from all the '90s cartoons, I mean, that's just so much that nostalgia coming back to me now. Like from the live action shows of All That and Kenan and Kel to the Amanda Show, like those are really great stuff. And then like me growing up with Doug, I grew up with Doug like later on, like in the 2000s, because I was become a teenager and everything. But like Rugrats was definitely a hit for me. SpongeBob SquarePants, and even like the Nick Jr. stuff too. Like I have to give some shout outs to Blue's Clues, to Little Bear, to Franklin. They've all made my like childhood for Nickelodeon.
Exactly. Like even like the Nick Jr. shows had the great hits because of how it didn't feel too pandering. Like each and every story of Little Bear, Blue's Clues, and Franklin felt so wholesome and in a way quite educational themselves.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, so that was like a little nostalgia trip through Nickelodeon, and this is your favorite network back then.
Yes, out of the big three, like Nickelodeon, it was my go-to.
Mine, good question, actually. I think I was also a Nickelodeon kid back then, because I was looking back at, like, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney, like, all the three networks that we talk about. I think Nickelodeon was the one that I go to, because the cartoons back then were all, like, bangers, to say. And that's the reason why, like, we're 90s kids, because, like, every 90s kid will definitely love the Nickelodeon cartoons. So
yeah, so if not for Nickelodeon, I wouldn't be the man I am today if not for Nickelodeon.
yeah. Now let's switch the network to the next channel, which is Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network have had their history. Although, to be fair, when I started watching Cartoon Network, it all started with very old cartoons. Because do you remember watching the Flintstones, the Jetsons, the Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes? Do you remember them?
Like the decades old cartoons.
Yeah, they're like very old cartoons. So I remember myself I think the first thing I saw on Cartoon Network was Flintstones. Like, you hear this, the theme songs are very catchy, by the way. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you also get to see the Jetsons, meet George Jetson, you know? That song was a banger too. So
what I like is that they are two very similar shows, but they take place in different
they're different time zones. Like, one is in the Stone Age, one is in the future.
Yeah, and yeah, it's no wonder they had a crossover.
But you haven't watched it, have you?
I remember Flintstones and Jetsons primarily for their openings, for their
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, their openings and stuff.
Like, they're catchy as hell.
There've been some episodes that, like, to be fair, I was a kid and like I didn't really get it because they were intended for adult audiences. Like, you had Flintstone talking about a job. You had George Jetson trying to find a promotion. I'm like, oh wait, this is not for me. But like back then for Cartoon Network, I think they were kind of aimed towards adults anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing is that the reason why I say that I mainly remember them for their theme songs is because I can never get into the storylines because I was a kid back then, so I didn't relate to their storylines as adults.
This is more of it's not just a sitcom, by the way. It's more of sitcom-y. So it's like, you know, everyday slice of life things that'll happen in the Stone Age that like happens in real life, and then in the future that happens in real life.
What mainly got my attention was the animation style because, well, as a kid, you're easily gravitated towards animation.
It's the colors, right? It's the colors that makes it look nice.
It's the colors. Like, they aesthetically look good for their time.
Yeah. So yeah, Flintstones, Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, those are definitely classics. I remember like every time they do an hour block of Tom and Jerry, I just remember watching every 10 minutes, seeing Tom and Jerry do some wacky shenanigans. Look, there's too many shenanigans to list down, but nonetheless, they're all funny. I just remember just seeing blocks of it all the time. But I also remember like Looney Tunes being heavily promoted on Cartoon Network because they're made by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers also always Cartoon Network back then. So you get to see like Looney Tunes like Bugs and Daffy Hour, Bugs and Daffy Show, and Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner Bugs Bunny Roadrunner movie or something like that. And I'm like, we're just compiling shorts into some sort of block segments. That's it. Acme Hour. Y'all remember Acme Hour?
Acme Hour was just nothing but just nonstop.
But it's not even Looney Tunes. It's like Looney Tunes, MGM. So you had Droopy. You had like Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Out of all things, like this is Acme Hour. I thought it was supposed to be like, oh, Looney Tunes. No, it's not. There's actually more than Looney Tunes. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's more than Looney Tunes. So according to what I'm saying, yeah, Acme Hour was nonstop cartoon fun.
Because I remember like Droopy was also a big one too. What was it? Space Ghost was another big one as well. I'm just trying to look back because like Droopy was huge. I remember being a huge Droopy fan.
Cat.
Yeah, that was a good one too. Top Cat was another good one as well. Yeah, Droopy was really funny because like you remember the wolf and the red hair, like Red Riding Hood girl.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that where the wolf goes, oh god, and then she goes over the table. You know, she doesn't go crazy on the table, goes to the hot girl.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying is that it's nice to know that, you know, Acme Hour is delivered for us more than just classic Looney Tunes. It's pretty much
it's classic cartoons.
It's all kinds of cartoons.
I just remember there's just many shorts. There's just so many shorts back then. Like you get to see Tex Avery show, Toonheads. Like that was back huge 90s, and I remember it. Like Toonheads did some trivia, and we had to like answer what the trivia is all about.
Yeah.
And then like the Tex Avery show just had all Tex Avery's cartoons, which is like Droopy, MGM classics here and there. He even did Tom and Jerry too. So like there's so many like crazy stuff that I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, this is cool blocks that I love watching when I was a kid back in the 90s.
I will say that out of all these classic cartoons, the cartoons I remember the most fondly is Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry was one of the biggest parts of cartoon.
I discussed it already. Yeah, Tom and Jerry is a huge one.
Like I couldn't get enough of it.
Well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Looney Tunes back then. So whenever Looney Tunes started popping up, I just remember watching that so much. Yeah. Again, like that. I'm guessing it was just more towards like, you know, in the 90s because like I think early 90s because I remember watching when I was 6 or 7 years old watching the Toonheads, Tex Avery Show, Acme Hour. Those are like blocks of like classic cartoons, and I was glued to that, no doubt. Like watching Wild E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons, the Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck cartoons. I mean, absolutely gems for sure.
Oh yeah, like they're pretty much a cast of characters that have revolutionized animation, like for years. Like you could, like the Looney Tunes, like each and every single cartoon just slaps.
Besides all of those classic cartoons, I think one cartoon that definitely evolved, definitely influenced all of us, I think would be Scooby-Doo. Because it's aired everywhere in Cartoon Network back then. Like, yeah, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? You had so many, like, spin-off cartoons as well, like Scooby and Scrappy-Doo.
Yes. I'm Scrappy-Doo!
Oh, it's Scrappy-Dappy-Doo!
Puppy Power!
Puppy Power! Oh, God.
Yeah, like I don't get the hate for Scrappy-Doo. Like, honestly, Scrappy-Doo stood out as a kind of a fun character.
I kind of do hate it when they did it. Again, a little side bit, but I know Scrappy-Doo was a villain in one of the movies.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah, please don't talk about it.
But yeah, going back to Scooby-Doo as well as the spin-off movies, the ones that I remember like the most are, of course, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Like,
oh,
the
come
king
on, that's
of
a
Scooby-Doo
classic,
movies.
man. That's a classic.
It is the king of Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Yeah.
Because you have each... even though it's a bit formulaic, you do see the Scooby-Doo gang going around solving mysteries, trying to capture some kind of monster or ghost, and then it turns out to be some sort of like human in disguise. Like, you know how it goes. Those meddling kids.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that didn't work out. Hold up for a second. Well, I mean, back then, my love for Scooby-Doo was all about, just the crew itself. You get to see Fred, Daphne, Velma, Scooby, and Shaggy. And they all go through all these mysteries to try to figure out the mystery, who's the villain and all that kind of stuff. Some are easy, some are hard. And then also, like, again, the spin-off series that also did come for Scooby-Doo. Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Yes. Where they were just little kids and solving mysteries.
A Pup Named Scooby-Doo it's what stands out to me the most. I remember watching it frequently because the characters look so adorable.
I know. It's so cute. And then also, like, this whole bit with Fred blaming a bully.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's always Red Harry. Red Harry.
like unlike other Scooby-Doo adaptations, unlike other Scooby-Doo shows, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo actually had a bully character. Like, they actually had some sort of like stereotypical bully character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing is that, like, I don't like one-dimensional bully characters, but I think like he was the most interesting to me because he gets some of the funniest lines.
Yeah. So yeah, Scooby-Doo definitely was a classic gem for me. We also did mention the new Scooby-Doo movies, which actually had celebrity guests that also appeared in Scooby-Doo. So like Adam West was a guest there one time. Harlem Globetrotters were always in like every episode. Penn and Teller were apparently in episodes too.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh man, he's a legend. Oh man.
Dick Van Dyke, yes, he was the GOAT. I remember Jodie Foster.
Yeah, her too.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah, again, they bring celebrities into pretty much voice themselves in the Scooby-Doo movies.
So it's mainly the all-star celebrities from like the 60s and 70s that had prominent roles in each of these Scooby-Doo movies episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed. So, I mean, if anything, those are definitely classic gems. I mean, I could look back at the other Hanna-Barbera classics like, Huckleberry Hound, Snagglepuss, Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear was so many, like, episodes of Yogi Bear there.
Let me get a pig in a basket.
Yeah. Top Cat was definitely one of the top shows on Cartoon Network back then, too. But, Len, you just know how the trend was for Cartoon Network. They don't have original content until later on in the 90s. So, like, you get to, like, when we grew up, we just continued watching, like, Flintstones, Jetsons, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry. Nothing original until the later 90s, because we get to hear cartoons like Cow and Chicken. There's Cow and Chicken, there's Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, and they all started because of this block called What a Cartoon.
Yeah, and What a Cartoon is basically this anthology of shorts. And some of these shorts ended up becoming full-fledged series like Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, and Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. Like, What a Cartoon actually, it's interesting because, like, I remember a lot of people saying, like, this is how they started their animation career. Like, you can see the shorts that they put up for What a Cartoon. And some of them were hits, some of them were misses. I remember a couple of them were actually pretty good. That I was thinking, like, why don't we have more of these episodes? But we never do, because it's so crazy, like, back then, where they wanted to make their own original content, and the way to do it is by literally just having it in a block. Like, they'll just have it for everybody to watch in an hour block, and then whatever the positive reactions come from it, then they end up making a full-on series for it.
Well, yeah, they had to start somewhere, and like with this cartoon block, it is pretty much what is going to make or break said short. Like, it's going to help a short succeed, or shorts unfortunately fall down, like when they lose, don't become cartoons.
So like I said, the mention of names that we discussed was Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, and Dexter's Laboratory. All are classical, like, cartoons to us now, because Johnny Bravo, undoubtedly one of the best, like, cartoons out there. He was about a one guy who tried to go hit on girls, and the girls continue to hit him back. Powerpuff Girls, come on, you guys know Powerpuff Girls. It's always going to be, like, a legendary, like, show in our hearts to say.
Yes, Powerpuff Girls was my introduction to superheroes.
Yes.
Like, they were just so awesome.
Well, yeah, they were absolutely cute and everything. And then Dexter's Laboratory. That was, I think, the first cartoon from the What a Cartoon series that ended up getting their own series. And it's crazy how it all started about a little guy with a laboratory and a big sister that... I just remember the pilot episode, by the way. They just keep on switching to things.
Yeah, and also
like Dexter became a bunny, and then Dee Dee became like a octopus or something. I don't know. Oh, tiger. I remember she became a tiger. Nonetheless, that was how the pilot went, and then ever since then, Dexter and Dee Dee continued to do, like, funny stuff here and there. That's how the whole show became to be.
Yeah, the banter with each other is what really sells the comedy, especially when their two personalities are so different. But they work well off each other with wacky hijinks.
Yeah. I'm looking back down on the list here. I mean, we missed a couple of other cartoons, like Tiny Toon Adventures.
Oh, Tiny Toon Adventures.
Come on,
yes.
they're the little versions of, like, the original Tiny Toon Adventures.
They're tiny, they're toony, they're all little loony.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just remember the character. I remember being a huge fan of it, honestly. Like, Buster Bunny, Babs Bunny, Plucky Duck, and the pig. I forgot the name, Hamilton or something like that. But yeah, I mean, they're all.
And Mountain Max is a junior version of
the freaking blue cat. They even have the Dodo Bird. Even have a character. I'm like, the Dodo Bird has only, like, appeared once or twice in the Looney Tunes, and he had his own kid version.
Yeah, but so what I like is that it's not just the animal characters, but it's the human characters that have their own mini versions. Like, Mountain Max is basically young Yosemite Sam. Elmira is little girl Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, that's right. Elmira.
So I like that play of
Elmira
words.
and Max are quite a thing. I remember, like, they've tried to ship them together, or like Elmira tried to, like, ship her with Max or something, and it's never gonna work. Max is undoubtedly, like, the freaking villain. Like, in every episode, Max is always the villain, and then, like, you get to see girl versions of of Daffy Duck. So there was Plucky, and then I forgot the other girl, and then there's even Pepe Le Pew had, like, a freaking female counterpart too. And I was like, her. Okay, I don't know the names, honestly. It's been a while since I've watched Tiny Toons, so.
It really has, but you look at the Tiny Toons and you enjoy it for how they try to capture the Looney Tunes spirit while it taking place in a university setting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, Tiny Toons was actually fun to watch. I just remember watching the road trip episodes. Those were actually pretty cool, just to see Plucky and the pig. I forgot the name again. But both of them going to, like, some sort of park, and then it turned out to be just one visit. Then Plucky was just absolutely floored because of that. And then Buster and Babs trying to do their own adventure, but then throughout their whole adventure, they pretty much wasted their summer. But no, I mean, like, I got some great memories when it comes to the Tiny Toons Adventures, and I remember they had a videotape for that. If anything, that was pretty good. Any other cartoons from Cartoon Network we can also bring up? I mean, Cow and Chicken. I discussed.
I Am Weasel.
Oh God!
You cannot. See, you cannot.
But Cow and Chicken is with I Am Weasel, right? Because, like, it was kind of the same block, right? You had Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, and then, like...
Yeah, see, you cannot mention Cow and Chicken without mentioning I Am Weasel, because they both take place within the same universe, and they both have the red guy.
Yeah, the red guy. Oh God.
Who is one of the best Cartoon Network characters ever. I adore
He's
that
so
character.
satire. Like he has a lot of satire when his like voice. It's like he's trying to be like the villain, but at the same time
He's so deliciously evil.
yeah, exactly. Like the freaking voice that he does. It's like what the fuck?
Like, oh my gosh, every scene with him is a show stealer.
Oh my god, it's so interesting about the devil. It's like I get it, like you're supposed to be the bad guy, but like you're not really the bad guy. You're just more like the person that wants to like screw things over for everybody in the show.
Well, I mean, that's why he's called the red guy. That's why he's called devil.
Also, the fact that the mom and dad are cut in half, I was kind of like surprised. I was like, oh.
I was kind of blown away because I wondered when
like,
are they gonna show the faces?
I get it. They do it a lot in like old cartoons back then. I mean, even Tom and Jerry, they don't even put the faces of like the humans.
Yeah, but Cow and Chicken, I remember like seeing their shadow, and it makes me think, oh my god, they really did lose their upper half of the body, didn't they?
No, they just make that as a running joke, and I'm like, okay, fine, we're just gonna keep it that way. The focus is gonna be on Cow and Chicken anyway. So
yeah, see, the thing is, at least with the older cartoons like Tom and Jerry, like the reason why they don't show the faces of the human characters is because they want to show it from the animal's perspective. And to its credit, Cow and Chicken does it really well.
Yeah.
Because we want to focus more on the human characters, and not the human characters, but we want to focus on Cow and Chicken more so than the parents.
Yeah. And then Courage the Cowardly Dog was also in the 90s as well. I mean, everyone is loving. I mean, I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog back then as well. Although to be fair, some episodes did get a little bit freaky. That I kind of like. Ooh, maybe a little bit not for me. Yeah,
Courage the Cowardly Dog is not for the faint of heart at all. But I would say Courage the Cowardly Dog is a tremendous show. One of the best that has some really good bangers.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about one other animated show, but I think we're gonna discuss it later on in the run. But yeah, I mean, Cartoon Network had the originals. I mean, Mike, Luke, and Nog was also there. Ed and Eddie was also a 90s cartoon.
My favorite Cartoon Network show
I think
ever.
it was a later 90s one for sure. I just remember the Ed Boys becoming like big time names back then. They're not from the What a Cartoon series, but I know Ed and Eddie was huge. Like I remember watching that wholeheartedly, and I thought it was like a really funny show.
Yeah, it was the first Cartoon Network show not developed from What a Cartoon. It was its own thing.
Yeah.
So that's what makes Ed and Eddie really stand out. Well, not only that, but also the humor and the characters are very well done.
Mm-hmm. There's also, again, there's just so many cartoons that they brought for Cartoon Network after the Hanna-Barbera series started coming out. They did put up DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, so the anime started to come in as well. Sailor Moon started to pop up in Cartoon Network too. Rurouni Kenshin, for those who love the 90s Rurouni Kenshin, yeah, that was a gem, right, anime fans? Beetlejuice. Oh, I forgot about Beetlejuice, man. That used to be a cartoon. Yeah, it used to be a cartoon, by the way. It was not the movie, but like the animated series was actually funny too.
Yeah, so it was a hit amongst those that grew up with Beetlejuice, whether it be the movies or just watching the cartoon itself. Like, it was a hit.
They did, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many to list down when it comes to Cartoon Network. But nonetheless, I mean, we have our memories when it comes to Cartoon Network. So it's such a great like gem to say.
Very much so, especially shows like Dexter's Lab, NNA, Powerpuff Girls, Giant Ball, all the works.
Now, if you're gonna be talking to me about what Disney Channel is all about, there not really wasn't a Disney Channel because Disney Channel kind of started around the 90s. They didn't really give out original content until like later on in the 90s. I remember watching this like YouTube video about Disney Channel that it started like back in the 80s, and it used to be like airing old movies, old Disney content, like Disney's like what was it, Disneyland things, and then like Mickey Mouse, Goofy shorts to say. They never really made original content until they made the Disney Afternoon. And that was when we get to hear these cartoons like the Tailspin, was it Darwin Duck, DuckTales, Goof Troop? Do you remember watching these?
So I haven't watched Disney Afternoon nearly
Wow.
as much as I have Nickelodeon Cartoon.
So why did you have it on cable? Oh, wasn't it in cable already for Disney? Wasn't it already cable, like for having Disney Channel on cable already?
I mean, I don't remember, but all I know is that like 90% of my time watching cartoons was from Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. I rarely watched Disney Afternoon. However, I do acknowledge how timeless and how much of a classic that all these shows are. Like they really do have some of these timeless characters.
I mean, I remember like Darwin Duck being such a big like name because everybody loved watching Yeah, sorry, my pictures looks like a picture of this presentation is kind of dying now. But I just remember watching like so much Darwin Duck and like the DuckTales. I mean, with Scrooge McDuck, and I how popular that was back then. I didn't really get into those cartoons until I think like later on in the 90s, because like I don't think I had Disney Channel back then. I was more towards Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, not really Disney Channel. So watching Winnie the Pooh was on a different network instead of the Disney Afternoon. Darwin Duck. I remember I started watching that later on. I never watched Gummy Bears. I watched Goop Troop, but because I played a video game of Goop Troop.
I actually watched Goof Troop not as a kid, but later on as an adult on Disney Plus.
DuckTales of the 1995 that came out. Timon and Pumbaa apparently had a spin-off series. Did you remember hearing that?
I remember watching some of the episodes of Timon and Pumbaa, and they were, yeah, you can argue they were random, they were weird, but you know what? They were Timon and Pumbaa. I was a fan of Lion King when I was a kid. I enjoyed Timon and Pumbaa. So,
do y'all remember Do y'all remember Gargoyles? That was a really good show.
Gargoyles is one of those shows that I wish I had watched when I was a kid, because I've heard recently from word of mouth how awesome Gargoyles is as an animated show. Like, it was dark, it was, adventurous, it was, all around a great, well-written show.
Yeah. I mean, it was just really deep. It wasn't like really fun and like adventure, like really fun for kids, just like Chip and Dale and Tailspin, for example. This one was just like more in depth. It kind of feels very like it's like seeing Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. It has those sort of vibes to it.
Yeah,
where they go for the more dark and gritty approach.
You want to find it funny? They started making like animated series of like IPs back in the 90s too. So you had an Aladdin animated series, you had a Little Mermaid animated series, Winnie the Pooh had an animated series.
Winnie the Pooh.
Well, to be fair, Winnie the Pooh, I grew up with that, and I remember buying so many VHS tapes for Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh series is so wholesome.
It is, yeah. Like, I bought so much VHS tapes. I just remember being a huge fan of it, just like putting the VHS tape on a TV screen and just watching it all the time. Like, it was it was like so much educational stuff as well, because like they give you like a certain like VHS series like playtime or learning, so you actually can learn from this. You can actually play with this, so it's like, oh, okay. I do like the whole like episodes they try to put up to say like, hey, this is for learning, this is for playtime, this is for adventure.
Yeah, like with Winnie the Pooh, there's so much you could do with Winnie the Pooh. Like, it works as all kinds of varieties of children's entertainment, because Winnie the Pooh is this wholesome kind of environment you want to go to. You want to go to 100 Acrewood.
Yeah. I never watched Bonkers, and I know somebody from our fandom is probably going to hate me for that. But I want to watch it. I hope it's actually on Disney Plus, because I heard it was actually pretty funny. Like, it's a pretty funny show. They don't even know who Bonkers is, and yes, you may have seen the Chibi-verse episode already, but
I remember like Bonkers was one of the OG.
Yeah, it was huge OG. I mean,
shows.
Also another thing too, Jim Cummings. I don't know what's up with you, but you were huge back then. You did Winnie the Pooh. You did what was it, Darwin Duck?
He did Pete in Goof Troop.
You did Pete. You did. What was the other guy? Oh, you did freaking Bonkers. What's going on here? Like, Jim Cummings was like throughout the whole 90s Disney Afternoon thing here.
Jim Cummings was the Disney Afternoon star, like the number one Disney Afternoon star, because of the various projects that he was voicing.
So many, yeah.
And also the voice of our childhoods. That was
definitely the voice of our childhood, for sure. I just never expected Jim Cummings, out of all places, just to do all these voices for Disney. Yeah. I was like, dude, I didn't realize it until now. I was like, holy fuck, Jim Cummings was our childhood.
What makes him work is honestly like the range of voice that he has.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you're an amazing voice actor. You're supposed to have that range anyways. I didn't know Hercules had an animated series. That was interesting.
Apparently they did, and it takes place when Hercules was still a teenager.
What? Oh, so you don't even have Jane in the show too?
No, they don't have Meg.
Sorry.
They don't have Meg because this was way before Hercules met Meg.
It Jane? Is it Jane?
No, Jane's in Tarzan.
Oh, sorry, wrong. No, sorry, Hercules. Yeah, sorry. Meg is different. Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, like I said, this serves more as a Hercules prequel series.
Yeah, I was getting my movies mixed up because I also saw Legend of Tarzan, but that's a 2000 series.
That's 2000s, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Mighty Ducks. Do you remember Mighty Ducks?
I don't remember I don't remember watching them all that much because I never got to hockey during the time. But yeah, like my first experience with hockey was not the San Jose Sharks, but it was Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, because like the Mighty Ducks had like live action series, have a live action movie series too. I remember that because like they had the Mighty Ducks 1, D2, and then like other ones. I remember the animated series introduction where it got really animated really well. And yeah, that's how I got myself into,
I will say the opening was a banger.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was definitely a banger for sure.
Yeah.
Again, I'm looking back at like Disney Channel back then. But yeah, they didn't really do much when it comes to cartoons compared to like Cartoon Network and Disney and Nickelodeon.
I think that's because during the time, it was when most of their Disney shows were syndicated.
That's true, yeah. So they could go to other networks to say, right?
Yeah.
Because I know Mighty Ducks wasn't on Disney Channel. It was like on a different like network, like UPN or something.
The thing with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network is that they have their own one block each.
Yeah, but Disney, I think, spread it to different networks, and like good idea to be honest, because like you get more people to watch it on basic cable to see like what Disney has provided for you, and there's so many shows that they provided for you. The fact that Goof Troop, Aladdin, freaking Mighty Ducks. I know Mighty Ducks was everywhere, like in freaking UPN or another network somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, so it is interesting how they even have animated spin. They even had animated shows based off of Renaissance movies, not just Hercules, not just Timon and Pumbaa, but also Little Mermaid.
I did say that already.
Yeah, so it is interesting how, but then out of all these, What would you say you've watched the most? How much of Aladdin have you seen? Have you seen how much
Not a lot. I wasn't really into the I wasn't really into the animated series of the spin-off of the movies to say. I didn't really watch a lot of Hercules, Aladdin, or Little Mermaid. I was more towards DuckTales. That was kind of like how my Disney afternoon was. I would love to go back and watch the Gummy Bears, if anything. Same with Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale was actually into that back then as well. But I know DuckTales and Darkwing Duck were huge back in my childhood.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. It also helps that they take place in the same universe.
Yeah. Right.
You see Launchpad interacting with Darkwing Duck. Launchpad is in Darkwing Duck.
Well, that's why they also did the same thing also in the recent DuckTales series as well.
In the recent DuckTales, like Darkwing Duck is legitimate.
And I'm still waiting for that the Darkwing Duck series, the new one, if they're gonna make it. That is, I'm still waiting for that.
Why haven't we gotten it yet?
They're working on it.
They're working on it, but I'm kind of like wondering when it's gonna be full. When it's going to come to fruition.
I don't know. They'll have to make an announcement. Hopefully by Destination D23. Can you make an announcement for that?
Hopefully.
Yeah, because that comes out at the end of August. I'm still waiting for some announcements for Stugo. Or yes. Primos. Can you at least give me season 2 of that, please? We'll see. We'll see at the end of August.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, but nonetheless, the Disney afternoon, I think, was a legendary, like, a block. Like we were glued to the 90s cartoons of Nickelodeon. Like the same thing we did for the Disney afternoon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But one thing that comes to mind is that as you go older, like in the 1995s and onward, there were certain things that made us grow up as children. Like, I don't know if you were one of those folks that was in my generation, but do you remember the old Saturday morning cartoons?
I do remember, and that was a good time for kids to watch these, wholesome Disney shows. Like,
well, it's not just Disney. There was just so many blocks on. I mean, do you remember like when you were a little child, when you were watching, like waking up early in the morning at like 8 or 9 in the morning just to watch like ABC, Fox, or the WB network? Yeah,
because you don't have to go to school. You can stay home. So, hey, why not watch cartoons?
Well, that was a trend back then. Nowadays, you don't see it anymore. There's no Saturday morning cartoons anymore. But back then, that was like a big thing over there. And I do praise this because Disney did take advantage of the block of Saturday morning. And that's why when they acquired ABC, they ended up making their own Saturday morning block called One Saturday Morning. Do you remember that?
I remember that. And I also remember the shows that were shown on that block. The most prominent being Pepper Ann, Recess, and Disney's Doug.
So, hold up. Let me get this here. Yeah, so one Saturday morning, I must say, I was one of those folks that always wakes up early in the morning to watch one Saturday morning, because it was absolutely fun just to watch Doug. I remember there was Doug, Recess. Recess was a huge one for me because like I just watch it whenever it comes on Saturday mornings. That was the thing to watch. And then there was Pepper Ann that was right after that too. So those three were the main shows for the one Saturday morning. And then they did do other cartoons like Winnie the Pooh. Like they did also air Winnie the Pooh back then too.
And I'm glad they did. But out of these shows, I think like the one that caught my eye the most, well, much like you, Recess was the go-to for me.
I'm not really gonna say for it. I think all of them did. All of them were kind of like my thing.
All of them really stood out.
Yes, all of them really did stood out to me.
But I'm saying like, out of all of them, like Recess was my favorite of the bunch.
Okay. I'm not gonna say favorites here. I am going to say like all of them are my favorites because I just said I remember growing up with every one of those cartoons and it was just me glued to the TV every Saturday morning watching that, and it didn't take me a while. It didn't click to me that there were other networks that also did have Saturday morning blocks. So I just remember watching ABC one Saturday morning and just watching Doug, Pepper Ann, and Recess all in the same like hour and 30 minutes to say. They did have other cartoons like Winnie the Pooh. I remember watching that. Then again, there's some other ones here and there, but I may have forgotten them. But the one thing that I also do remember is that Schoolhouse Rock aired during the commercial breaks.
Schoolhouse Rock was, when you were a kid, Schoolhouse Rock was the best educational tool.
But do you remember they aired it during the commercial breaks? So like right in between like the transition between Doug and Pepper Ann, for example, in between was a short for Schoolhouse Rock.
I do remember.
Yeah, and I remember it's like some songs. I remember some folks probably won't know the Conjunction song. Conjunction. What's your function? Do you know that song?
Yeah, Conjunction.
Do you know it?
I mean, not much, but go ahead.
You don't know the song.
I don't know the song, but...
Yeah, Conjunction, what's your function? But
what...
I know the lyrics, but I know Conjunction was a huge song. I remember a lot of people singing that, and I understand why. It's such a great song.
Yeah, so Schoolhouse Rock had this, like... They had these, they had these shorts, and they also had these educational videos that, like... While they're teaching you things, like they even like sing it to you, like they pretty much bring out these like music. I wouldn't say music videos, more like musical shorts.
It's musical shorts, and it's also animated as well. I remember the Bill part, like I'm just a Bill, I'm only a Bill, and I'm sitting here at Capitol Hill.
Yeah, the Bill was the character that stood out to me the most in Schoolhouse Rock because it was my introduction.
It was kind of more of like how a bill gets signed into law. Yes.
Like the bill was my introduction to how the U.S. government functions.
Okay, that's interesting. There also was like diversity that also gets shown as well. I remember there's this song called Great American Pot or something like that. Great American Melting Pot. That's the name of the song. But it's like all cultures going into one. It tells you how America is, which is pretty cool.
There's also some math. I remember.
Yeah, math was huge. Division and things like that. I mean, there's just so many like shorts from Schoolhouse Rock. That was just a great block, by the way. Just like seeing that before the next episode of Recess, for example. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's great to actually see that there's some education that's in the show, like that is in the block. Because to be fair, like Doug, Recess, and Pepper Ann don't teach you anything. They're just more of like just shows.
Yeah, exactly. Like they serve their purpose in showing these episodic episodes, it's episodic stories, what the characters go through. But yeah, no, like Schoolhouse Rock, its main purpose is to teach kids through music.
Right. Well, yeah, that too, and also the visuals as well, because it tells you like how a conjunction works, how verbs work, how nouns work, how to divide, that kind of thing. And I think it was still pretty clever that Schoolhouse Rock has done it. So like it was great. Like back in the 90s, please, if you can ever find YouTube videos of Schoolhouse Rock, please do, because they're very educational.
Schoolhouse Rock, the best way to describe Schoolhouse Rock is an animated music. It's a classroom disguised as an animated music video.
Sure.
Like, that's the best way to describe it.
Sure. Other Disney shows that also happened during, that happened during one Saturday morning. 101 Dalmatians apparently was there. Pepper Ann, Recess, we discussed that already. Winnie the Pooh was also there as well. Hercules was also there. Sabrina. I don't know if you remember the Sabrina animated series, but that was a classic to me.
I haven't watched Sabrina, but... I have heard its appeal.
Yeah, but I know Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I remember growing up with that, although to be fair, I was a teenager already back then. But Clarissa explains it all. Girl, I forgot. Melissa Joan Hart now grew up as Sabrina, and her show was just awesome. So yeah. Mickey Mouse Works was also a show in the 1990s as well that also aired during One Saturday Morning. And then the rest of them aired around 2000. So like from the Weekenders all the way to the Proud Family, that was all 2000s One Saturday Morning. And then it did kind of fall off after that, but we'll discuss that in another future episode.
Yeah, we're going to go in depth into that like maybe in a 2000s episode.
Well, we'll do another one, yeah. But yeah, One Saturday Morning, undoubtedly one of my best like Saturday blocks that I remember watching. Other Saturday morning blocks that we can discuss. Fox Kids also did have one as well, and some of you guys probably know Fox Kids because of Digimon. I admit it, it's Digimon, right? That makes you want to talk about Fox Kids.
Yeah, not only that, but Fox Kids was the block that had the most action-oriented cartoons.
Well, because it was kind of more appealing towards like the teenage boys to say, because they had Power Rangers, they had what was it?
Spider-Man, X-Men.
Yeah, they had a lot of Marvel stuff as well. So like, remember Marvel wasn't acquired by Disney back then, so if anything, Marvel was free roaming to whatever network they want to go to. So Fox picked them up, and look at them now. Like, you've seen the classic X-Men show, you've seen the classic Spider-Man show, yeah.
So yeah, whenever you want to see some really cool action with some of your favorite superheroes, Fox Kids was your go-to.
Well, to be fair, from the way I'm seeing how Fox Kids went, it's quite interesting how Fox Kids turns out to be like. They also did acquire a lot of like cartoons too, like Tiny Toons apparently was in Fox Kids too.
Yeah, so while it is mainly action oriented, there are some goofy cartoons.
Y'all remember Tom and Jerry Kids? And Jerry Kids.
No.
What?
No,
you don't like it? Oh, it's so.
I was never a fan of Tom and Jerry Kids.
I love Tom and Jerry Kids.
Even as a kid.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but no. Even with Tom and Jerry as kids, the humor was way too juvenile. Even for me as a little kid, so it's like, why? Why? No.
I liked it though.
I'd rather stick with the OG Tom and Jerry as adults.
Oh my god! But yeah, Tom and Jerry, of course, that's a classic. But then, of course, they did make spin-off like Tom and Jerry stuff. So like Tom and Jerry Kids, hey, it's kind of like saying Baby Looney Tunes. Come on,
that's even worse. No, that's even worse.
What's wrong with them? Oh my god. Beetlejuice was also airing in Fox Kids. Tasmania. Do you remember that show?
I don't think I remember Tasmania.
Tasmania. Tasmanian Devil had his own like spin-off show.
Yeah, I didn't get around to watching Tasmania, but I do remember.
Oh, yeah, the original TMNT was also in Fox Kids, by the way. The 1990s TMNT.
Nice, the OG TMNT cartoon.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you said X-Men. That was also there. Animaniacs also did air in Fox Kids. It was so odd because like they don't really have a set footing of what cartoons they were going to air at Fox Kids. They just acquired them through like licensing and stuff. So like you'll see many names like Animaniacs, Droopy, really.
Droopy, yeah.
Yeah. What was it? You also get to see I don't know, Magic School Bus. Oh shit, Magic School Bus was also there too.
Yeah,
Dang. So you all remember that?
Yeah, Magic School Bus along with Schoolhouse Rock was one of the most fun way to educate kids while entertain them.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember Magic School Bus. That was so great. SWAT Cats. Hey, I love that cartoon too. SWAT Cats. What was it? Wallace and Gromit actually was there. That was interesting. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We already discussed that. What was it? 97. Again, like I didn't really stick around when it comes to Fox Kids. I just remember like Fox Kids was huge back then, just because of Digimon. So, also apparently Donkey Kong Country was also there back then as well.
Yeah, it is so random. I remember owning a VHS of the Donkey Kong Country series, and yeah it was something.
There was there was a lot of Marvel for sure. Toon Sylvania, Young Hercules, The Secret Files of Spy Dogs. Interesting, yeah. And then I talked about it. Digimon first season. The Digimon first season was absolutely a banger for me. I just remember the theme song, Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. And I'm like, are you trying to be more epic like Pokemon right now?
see, that's the thing, is that during that time, it was a battle between Pokemon and Digimon in terms of fandom.
Oh yeah, for sure, because like they all came out in the 90s. But I remember like I think Pokemon came out first because like it was like 96 when it was airing on UPN where Pokemon started their rise. Then like Digimon came in, tried to like compete with them. And to be fair, it was a fair competition considering like Digimon fans, they have like the Digivolution with the Digivices, and then Pokemon evolved naturally. I'm sorry, Pokemon evolved naturally. You can also capture them with Pokeballs. Digimon can like roam around with you. So I thought it was also pretty cool, but at the same time, like they have their ups and downs, like they have their gripes. All of them have their gripes to say, but I do like Pokemon a whole lot more.
Yeah, like Pokemon, like whether some of you want to agree with us or not, but Pokemon was the OG anime.
I remember like being huge into Digimon because I was like kind of indifferent between both of them because both of them are really great like shows. Digimon, yeah. I remember like watching the Digimon series and I just like love every character from it. From like Tai to TK to Matt to Sora and Mimi and Kimmy. I'm like, okay, now you're making me go back to nostalgia right here. And then second season is when like some of the kids grew up, but TK and Mimi, Kairi, TK and Kairi were still like young because they were the younger. They were like a little younger because I know Matt and TK were Matt and TK were older brother, younger brother. Same with Tai and Kairi, which is like older brother, younger sister. But then the adventures in the second season continue on with Kairi and TK, and then a bunch of other little kids too. So it's like, oh, okay, this is sick. I actually do like the fact that we actually are going through generations of Digimon. So, and then like third season, I kind of fell off because like there was new different characters, and I was like, I don't know what this Digimon is anymore. Oh, but no, I mean, the first two seasons of Digimon, I can never forget. They were just huge. And then that's what after the third season of Digimon, I kind of did fall off because I still got back into Pokemon. Pokemon continued on with me from like Kanto to the Orange Islands to the Johto region to the next generation after that. And then I kind of fell off when after May left. So nonetheless, I don't really watch the anime series, but I just know I'm huge into Pokemon. I play the game so much. So yeah, that's kind of my history when it comes to Pokemon.
Yeah, I will say when it comes to my relationship with Pokemon, I will say like Pokemon was the first anime I watched without me even knowing what anime is.
Okay, so like, did you see? Was it during the Kanto region?
It was during the Kanto region.
So you get to see like the Misty, Ash, and Brock.
That is Misty, Ash, and Brock, the OG trio.
Yeah.
And of course, it's them going on their adventures with Pikachu. They encounter Pokemon, and then they have to battle off Team Rocket, who always...
This always happens every episode for Pokemon, speaking of which.
Team Rocket always has these creative disguises that Ash Ketchum, for some reason...
He doesn't know. Yeah, like, I don't know. He's that oblivious, I guess.
Like how is it that Ash cannot put two and two together? Like,
I know.
Hey, you look familiar.
There's some disguises from Team Rocket that kind of will be a little bit misleading, but then like some are pretty obvious. Come on, the purple hair and the red hair from Jesse and James. Come on, it's pretty easy. I'm sorry, there's a cat that's talking.
Two and two
together. Meow that's talking.
Two and two together. Come on, seriously.
No, but I believe I remember being hugely invested in the first season, and then I kind of fell off after Johto. But it's just because I grew up, and I think the games were kind of more better than the anime. So that's when I started watching that. I know I want to go watch the new anime series itself because Ash is gone, and there's this new girl that's like taking over the Pokemon series. So who knows? It's on Netflix, so I might check out the new Pokemon series nonetheless. But yeah, Fox Kids had their run from the 90s onward. I didn't really focus on them, so that's why I only do a little mention for Fox Kids just because they had Digimon. So yeah.
And needless to say that these Saturday blogs served a purpose.
But the main one that we also want to talk about is Kids WB, because like, I don't know if y'all remember Kids WB, but that was the block every day. Like when you go home after school, you get to watch Kids WB on the WB network. You get to see like Pokemon. What was it? Not Mucha Lucha. That's 2000. Sorry, they had like Pokemon. They had like Animaniacs. That's also airing as well. Cardcaptor Sakura was also airing around that same time as well. I don't know. Like there's just so many like great cartoons from Kids WB back then.
Yes, I would say Kids WB is the best of the three because of how much variety that Kids WB has. Like, it has a variety of different kinds of animation, from action-oriented to comedy to anime.
But to remember back then, by the way, because like Kids WB also did have the DC animated shows. So like Batman the Animated Series was airing back then. Batman Beyond was also airing back then.
Superman was also
Superman as well. Like those cartoons we grew up with, and those were really good animated cartoons. Like
very much.
It's just
so.
There have been so many like there are many well known episodes from Batman and Superman that I was just like. I have to like rewatch them because there's so many like deep stories when it comes to like the DC cartoons back then.
Yeah, very much so. Like the DC AU shows in general really had some deep and compelling stories.
Mm-hmm. That was like, again, so much like great depth when it comes to it. I can list down like all the cartoons that came out in the 90s for Kids WB. Animaniacs. We were huge back then for the Animaniacs.
Animaniacs, very much. Especially, the Warner siblings and of course Pinky and the Brain. You can't forget
Pinky
that.
and the Brain, that's right.
Pinky and the Brain.
They had so many like other they also had so many other cartoons, like was it the Pigeons, the
Good Feathers.
Good Feathers. They had
Slappy the Squirrel.
Slappy the Squirrel and the other squirrel. There's also the Cat and Dog. By the way, yeah, there's so many like great shorts when it came to Animaniacs. Plus, I think Pinky and the Brain did have their own animated series.
They did, yeah.
I remember they had their own theme song too. Pinky and the Brain, the Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
And of course, they had the Animaniacs and Tiny Toons somehow had a crossover series with Pinky and the Brain with Elmira.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Seriously, what was up with that?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know what Brother Brothers was cooking back then.
How?
But,
How?
I don't know what WB is cooking. I don't know what Steven Spielberg was doing.
Like I respect him, but this was not it.
Yeah. Again, like Bugs and Daffy. So there were also like Looney Tunes blocks that were also there back in Kids WB back then. Batman the Animated Series. Definitely a huge one for sure.
Yes.
What was it? The Daffy Duck show. So I guess Daffy Duck did have its own block as well. Do you remember the cartoon Detention?
I don't remember the
I
cartoon
remember
Detention.
they promoted heavily for this cartoon. Like they had so many commercials. Well, I don't know what's going on with WB, but I know Kids WB had commercials where they crossed over this animated series with Pokemon, for example. So like you'll have the animated cartoon characters just pop up in a Pokemon episode for some reason.
Really?
But it's for advertisement though.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for some reason I never, experienced, Detention,
Yeah, Detention was actually kind of interesting. It also was kind of animated weirdly. It kind of reminds me of like Invader Zim for some reason. But it's like kids trying to get out of detention.
I see.
Yeah. Freakazoid. Do you remember that show? Freakazoid. You know that show?
I don't remember watching.
So
Freakazoid.
crazy. It's such a crazy show. I know it also aired on Cartoon Network because, like, Warner Brothers. Cartoon Network and Kids WB, they kind of work together in that case.
Like I remember Freakazoid, like from the way that I've been described, like Freakazoid is this random character.
Like, yeah, he again, the whole story was that he got into cyberspace, turned into Freakazoid, and then he just turns out to be a crazy guy out of all places. Tries to be helpful, but at the same time, he's like a very funny guy. So I remember the theme song. The theme song was also pretty crazy. Freakazoid, that kind of song.
Yeah, but yeah, like Kids WB's got some pretty good bangers, like out of the thing.
Yeah. Again, I'll list down some more. Pinky and the Brain, we already discussed it. You did pull out Pinky Elmira in the Brain, and I'm like, I don't remember that series. I just remember Pinky and the Brain more than Pinky Elmira in the Brain. How did that happen? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
How did Elmira
either.
come out of all places from Tiny Toon Adventures?
Like there's other Tiny Toons characters you could have worked well off with Pinky and the Brain. Why Elmira of all characters?
Again, I don't know. There also is this other cartoon called the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. Have you remember watching those?
I don't remember watching much of those, but
I think it was Granny being like the elite investigator while the dog Sylvester and Tweety all do their shenanigans, because I know Sylvester still wants to eat Tweety Bird.
Well, of course. I mean, that's been the running theme with not just this, but Looney Tunes cartoons with Sylvester and Tweety and Bird in the past. Sylvester always wants to eat Tweety.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it's just like there's Sylvester and Tweety doing their own shenanigans, but at the same time, there's this mystery at foot. And then it's kind of trying to be like a Scooby-Doo-esque sort of cartoon, but at the same time, you have so many small little things that are also in the show. And it's also on, on HBO Max at the moment. So maybe I could check it out a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry Tales were also, no, sorry, that's 2006, my bad. Wayne Head, never heard of that, so I'm just gonna skip it. Hanna-Barbera also did come up to Kids WB. They had Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Do you remember Captain Planet?
I don't remember watching Captain Planet, but I remember Captain Planet teaching kids not to,
Oh,
loiter.
yeah. Yeah, there's that. I just remember Captain Planet because, like, the six kids are trying to be like the protectors of the Earth, to say, and then Captain Planet would be there just to help them out, like try to defend from like pollution or things that can ruin the Earth, to say.
Yeah, so it pretty much was a cartoon that just screams, save the planet Earth.
So I didn't know about this. Did Men in Black have an animated series?
I was not aware that Men in Black actually had an animated series.
Yeah, they did have an animated series called Men in Black the Series. I don't remember it. Oh, I mean, maybe. I did remember it a little bit. I just didn't feel like it was like the right kind of show.
Yeah, no, like, when I think Men in Black, I think of the movies, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't think of the movies?
Yeah, right. And then Pokemon came from 1999 to 2006. Pokemon was just absolutely huge back then. So...
Yeah, Pokemon was the definitive OG anime, or one of the definitive OG animes.
Yeah.
Along with Sailor Moon. I
think that was pretty much all that we know from the 1990s. They didn't really put much airing cartoons when it comes to the 1990s. All I know is that Pokemon was huge back then. That's the reason why WB started to get so huge back then. But then also like before Pokemon, there was also the DC cartoons like Batman and Superman. Both of them are really legendary cartoons. So I would imagine those that are huge into comics were into those particular series. And that's why Kids WB started to get like on the map because of that.
Yeah, Kids WB was pretty much essentially a, every geek's introduction to geek culture was all start with Kids WB.
Well, yeah.
Well, not every, but you know
no,
what I mean.
I mean, like, again, I didn't really get into Kids WB until Pokemon started to come in. So that was around the 1990s. And then I just remember like watching Pokemon, and then after that was Batman. I was like, why is the WB logo turning into flashlights? Oh, Batman. Okay.
Yes. And I remember like the moment that you see that light and the moment you hear that orchestration, it's Batman animated series.
Then also the Superman series as well. Although to be fair, I was kind of more towards Batman than Superman back then, because like it aired after Pokemon and Batman was just right there, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll check out an episode. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And to be fair, I was a kid back then, so I was like, maybe it didn't really interest me as much, but like as an adult now, it gets me more interested in like how great that anime series was. So
yeah, and what makes the Batman the animated series very compelling, especially, is how it makes you sympathize with each and every villain. Like the Batman villains are easily the best characters of Batman the animated series because they have their own backstories of why they became villains.
Right. But yeah, I know that like WB really wasn't that short. Like really was short when it comes to because like their blocks were just short, considering like they only aired during not like a full on channel. It was literally just them airing for 2 hours or like 5 hours on a Saturday. Because I remember they do it every day, like after school or 4 p.m. Like right after school, you end up watching Kids WB, and then literally on a Saturday you're watching Kids WB too. So
yeah, it is just straight up, Saturdays of nothing but 5 hours of fun cartoons.
Oh yeah, and nonetheless, I mean, these 90s cartoons again just like inspired us for becoming like big animation fans itself. Yeah, I can't really say much. I didn't mean like from all the things that we discussed from Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney, and even the Saturday morning blocks, like it was how 90s were. Like, it was a nostalgia trip for all of us, to say.
Yeah, and so I am very thankful towards the 90s cartoons that I have watched for being a huge part of my childhood and for shaping up my taste in media.
Yeah. I mean, looking back at all the cartoons I've watched, I was like, wow, these were actually pretty good back then.
Exactly.
Giving it, again, nostalgia trip of like what things we watched back then.
I mean, sure, I have much more to say about some than others, but it doesn't change the fact how each and every cartoon has their own significance. They have their own impact on children's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Anything else?
I got nothing else to say. I think that's pretty much it for our episode.
Yeah.
So
it was quite a 90s trip.
We kind of needed to do this eventually. We always keep talking about the recent news about animation, but we have to go back in time and actually look back at like what we like got ourselves into when it comes to animation and everything.
Because the 90s was a decade of nostalgia. Like it embraces nostalgia.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for our episode. Unless you guys have anything else to bring up. No?
I don't have anything to bring up, but I do encourage the chat to comment below. Let us know what is your favorite 90s cartoons.
All right, yeah, sounds great. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much it for our episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed our little nostalgia trip all the way back to when we were bored and what cartoons we watched back then. And I hope you guys also watch the same cartoons as us as well. Maybe you guys are a little bit younger, so you might be watching other cartoons that are probably going to be the 2000s, or we'll be discussing later on in another episode that we're going to be doing later. But until then, that's pretty much it for our episode. Yeah, that's pretty much it for our episode. We have that. God, I can't really figure the outro here. Sorry. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel by liking our video, subscribe to our channel, and also hitting the bell button to be notified when we're coming on next. We always make episodes. We're currently making new videos for the channel, and also we always air every Wednesday on our channel as well. So come on back every Wednesday. We get a new episode of the Anination Podcast, and also follow us on our social media sites below, so that you can get to just follow us and just see what we're doing on social medias and everything.
Yeah, so we just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening on and on about what we have to say about the cartoons that shaped our lives.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Have a good day next Wednesday. Stay cool, everyone.